was very stimulating. Not yet. Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say? Come in, Alexander. No, no, no. Not yet. Alexander. Not yet. Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say? It was very stimulating. Not yet. Alexander. No, no, no. Alexander. It was very stimulating. Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say? Not yet. Alexander. Not yet. Not yet. It was very stimulating. Not yet. No, no, no. was very stimulating. Not yet. Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say? It was very stimulating.
Well. Let's do this. Wellity. Hello, everybody. This is the much more chilled out, calm stream where I'm going to pull everything I have. Stars to
the... Is that a promise or a threat?
Stars to the left of me, Big even more to the left of me. I've actually worked out how to change the order of the screens now. Turns out you have to change your names.
Oh, wow.
To be Big McLarge and to be Stars and Garters, I am now Captain Idle. And true Yorkshire fashion.
You're now Captain Idle?
I'm now Captain Idle. I wasn't before. I was a false impersonator.
The definitive article, one might say.
One would say. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this.
It's always a pleasure.
Always good to have a look. So,
absolutely.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to probably, I don't know, should I? Because I'll probably do my merits. I've got 40,000. I might as well blow them now. Then I'll do premium. No, yeah, I'll do my premiums. I'm going to do my 100 premiums I've got here. And then I'll probably, if I don't get, because I need 2 more stars on Awasican, if I don't get those, I'll drop some 490s to try and grab what's left of her. And then we'll chill and talk about things from Star Trek. But,
sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. So
right.
how are you guys? How are you doing with everything?
For one, I need to apologize for my daughter playing around in the background. This is the quietest place in the house.
You've become the center of attention, haven't you?
Yeah, that all just happened about a minute before we went live, so that's fun. But yeah, I'm glad I could finally be back on one of these things because it's been quite a while since I've been able to be on the show in any kind of capacity.
In fact, the last time you were on, Big, that was me and Seven getting drunk at you and you just looking panicked in the corner.
I haven't watched that one. I should.
Oh, it's a disaster. It's like, hey guys, Timeline's Talks is back and now it's this.
Guys, we're actually live right now. So.
Okay, so anyone watching?
Yeah, no.
Sorry, go on.
That was a coincidence that was my last show because I did have a lot of fun with that. It's just you guys broadcast in the middle of the week while I'm at work. So.
Yeah, that is a disadvantage.
This is the issue, yeah, with us having transatlantic stuff. Yeah, is coordination.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what the future brings. I think everyone's got problems. I suppose if we did stream at a weekend, then it'd be difficult because in America it's the middle of the day. You're probably out doing things, especially with those with families. So it's always hard to try and find.
You greatly overestimate my social life. So, but.
No. So for anyone watching that hasn't dropped into one of these before, we run a regular stream every Wednesday, which is the Timelines Talks about this time, and we talk about all things Star Trek timelines. Do pack openings. You can catch it live. There is a podcast. This won't be on the podcast. This will be on the YouTube channel. So come and join us. And if you're watching us later, come and join us anyway. So let's get stuck in. Let's do some merits. And I'm just gonna flick through these now and just accumulate all this lovely honour here. And then we'll get onto the packs. Oh, look at that. And super rare.
Oh, wow.
Straight away.
Right in the door.
This is
That's
good.
all
This
right.
is good portents. This is a good start.
Yeah.
Definitely.
A very attractive tourist judge in. Not wrong. Not bad,
Oh
not
yes.
bad. In fact, you know what? We should have like a bet on what blue we're going to see the most, and then
Okay.
some
Okay.
soul can tot it up
Uh,
afterwards. Was right.
I'm gonna go with EV2 Vox.
So you're gonna go EV2 Vok. What about you,
Ooh,
Stars?
that's the pick. I will say Pants Wolf.
Pants off. Okay.
He was turning up a lot when I was watching Automaton do this.
Okay. How about so you're doing EV2, you're doing Pants Wolf. Ooh, I might have to go Captain Dath. I'm gonna go for Danik Jalad.
Good pick.
Oh, here we go.
I like it.
Do I need Baral?
Oh,
I can't
Baral.
remember. I think I do need him, but he's not counting for anything. So I'm starting to now think
Does
about.
anybody really need him?
No, but I'm now thinking about sort of finishing those portal super rares that I don't have yet, so he might get kept. Which is nice that he's
Well,
designed.
you know what? Like, I remember him being useful during the Survivalist Mega, I think, because he was one of the few diplomat options. So, you know.
Okay.
That was back when I did my like write-ups of everyone with this trait who's worth unthawing and stuff like that. Now I basically just screen you in the show and do that. Double crushes, okay.
Double Crusher.
Double Crusher.
Oh, few blues there. Another Crusher. Oh, you should have bet on Crusher. Most frequent
Actually, green
blue.
doesn't count.
Steven Sinner says most frequent blue Vedic win. Oh, there we go. There's a. Oh no, I didn't see him. I said the other one. Captain.
Yeah, you
Deathon,
said
didn't I?
Captain Death on the other half of the
Yeah.
Intrepid duo.
The only blue I'm missing is Humanarium, who's not going to be in the portal.
Same,
till-
I've got her 1 out of 3, and like I can't even remember what event was she in.
Oh god, that was ages ago. Was that the
Yeah.
Mega before last even?
I think it was. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
great.
the
Wrong Tuvok.
Mega?
Yeah.
It was the Cyberneticus Mega. That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, there's a Pants Wolf.
There you go. There's one for you. Sorry, I
Alright.
skipped off too fast. So that's one nil to Stars.
This is going to be more fun than opening the packs.
Oh, by far. Come on.
Yeah.
You need to do
No,
a bet on how many.
Gote, you'd be up to like 3 at this point.
You need to do a bet on how many
what-
straight drops I get from the 100 packs, and if you say 100, you can leave the stream now.
It's no auto and 3 guys. That is correct.
What we got? Oh, EV2 Vok. So
Boom!
1-1. There we go.
Equalizer.
Equalizer. Oh, come on, Dathon, where are you? Got 22k merits left.
You're going to see Captain Dathon, you're going to go like, yeah! And then you're going to see, like, Captain Braxton turn up in a behold and you're like, okay, cool.
No, I don't want that because I already have I've finished him. I don't want the dupe. Mind you,
fair
people
enough.
would say you should take a dupe. No. Ooh, that's nice. Three blues.
Hey, Eden, you're rocking the whole thing, okay? And not in a
Walking
good
the
way.
free world.
Okay. There's some definite greys.
Now, as
Mine.
I recall, the last time we did this was with, what, Skycap?
Yes. Yeah, she pulled
And I recall
70.
she had the ultimate tragedy of
Oh.
Tactical Officer Neelix in the merits when she'd already finished.
Yeah, that is the disadvantage of doing the merits is you don't get the
That is
choice.
gutting one, yeah.
At least if you pull a credit pack and get a gold, you get the choice, as rare as that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
got
that would be
really-
that'd be the plus side of doing the merits first. Is that way you get all your non-choice stuff out of the way.
Yeah,
Really
that's kind of what
disappointment
I'm
out
doing.
there, yeah.
Dathon, yes.
Oh,
There you
1
go.
all.
1 all round.
Hey.
1 all.
Everybody
This
loses.
is so dumb.
we need to start typing in some football noise.
Crushes. You should have said CMO Crusher.
Yeah, I should have done right. We should have said like Core. I think we've seen him pop up.
He's
three
come up
times.
quite a lot. And Garrick as well. Garrick's come up
Oh,
loads.
Yeah.
yeah, Taylor
Yeah.
Garrett.
We picked the ones that are appearing the least. What is this?
It's called RNG.
Oh, a con. That's at least the second con.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Mataclan. That's good.
We've had like at least 3 grunts. Like he's taking the brunt of it.
Hey.
Ah,
Do you know what we need? We need you know
Oh.
like there you go,
getting
Pants
in
Wolf.
with the oh, second pants.
You're up 2-1 over. You take your victory lap in a minute.
Wolf,
You've
double
got
wolf, double wolf.
Oh. Where are we? Recommend on. Oh, M113. I have finished.
Oh,
Thank you for the honor.
Finished?
Nella Darren.
Getting going.
It's all the crew.
We're burning through the merits pretty quickly, so we're
it
going
doesn't
to
take
be
long,
finished
does it?
soon.
Nah.
No, it really doesn't.
No goals, but never mind. Always hopeful.
Always hopeful.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was watching the Binars episode
Oh, really?
with Auto earlier today. Guess what? It's a lot. It's simultaneously worse and better than I remember.
Which is to say, it's one of the best episodes of season 1.
It actually is.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
Because it at least has a Star Trek-y thing of, oh, there's no actual threat.
Yeah.
It's just these people need help and we help them.
I quite like
Yeah,
Conspiracy.
it's very
I think
much a
Conspiracy is
Star
good.
Trek story.
I quite like that one.
Oh, yeah, well, that's...
fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sticks out like a sore thumb from basically everything else in the whole catalog.
True.
We seek peaceful coexistence.
It had a recurring character.
Yeah,
it had, what's his name?
That,
Merrick.
that reminds me that I was watching Wheel of Fortune, I think, a day or two ago, and there was a woman on whose name was Remick. It's like I can't hear that name and
Remick,
not think about a bag of meat exploding under phaser fire.
Yeah, and tons of worms. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those interested, Snipespear is a Loch Lomond brewery, which I picked up in Lidl today, and it's a New World IPA. Should you be interested? Whatever that means. Where is the New World? Is that Rigel 7?
Oh, that's over here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's America.
That's what the history says.
Okay, should we delve into these packs?
History began.
So, well,
Right.
the bane of my life will be
100
straight drops.
to
But
go.
let's go. Right, number 100. Let's
go.
have a look.
All right, I'm gonna say 37 straight drops. I'm gonna say the odds are in your
We'll
favor.
keep a count.
You know what? That's a kind thing to say. It will be gold.
All down. All done. All frozen. We're good on that. Lots of replicator fuel here.
I'm looking more for the blues now.
I think we're done. I think that was any merits, but you can still count if you want. We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. You'll see 2-1. One straight drop.
Yeah,
I'm giving you
drag
guys
this thing
a
out.
fighting chance. Yeah, I'm giving you guys a fighting chance.
Okay, no one there.
I'm accepting that chance.
Okay.
Don't think for a second I'm not accepting that chance.
Oh, there you go. 2-2.
Double gold.
Oh, thank you. I will have that last one. Thank you.
Another lizard.
Well, I've done thingy, and I'll take. What's he?
Aketika. You haven't got him.
I haven't got him. He will do.
That mirror Keiko fakes me out so often, thinking that it's the Power Race Keiko.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's
Just
smiling.
looking out of the side of your eye.
DC Pilot says Evil Kirk
Yeah.
for the possible fusion. I've heard this theory about people thinking they're going to get Evil Kirk and Good Kirk. I don't understand it. I don't know where that's come
the
from.
problem is, so if you had Good Kirk and you fuse him with Evil Kirk, you'd just get 2-star normal Captain Kirk. Like, who do you think you're
ultimate
going
dick
to
move.
get out of that fusion?
Maybe you get like Bones as like a 1-star Med Wonder. You'd get like a 1-star Command Amazing Kirk.
That'd be
Oh,
interesting.
hello.
Oh.
Well, there is no choice here because
That's an easy
Troy's
choice. There
frozen.
you go.
Thank you,
None
Keeper.
whatsoever, yeah.
Ah, yeah,
The
one
Keeper's
gold.
one of those golds that's not particularly good, but I still want them.
He's got some
Yeah.
gauntlet use, hasn't he? I don't remember.
Yeah, no, he's still got a picture in Gauntlet.
Okay, so we're up to 1 goal. I need to keep
Okay.
track of my goals. Hang on,
Let
let
the
me get
baby
some paper. I need a pen. Where's my pen?
I've gotten 1 gold so far.
1 gold.
Yep.
What are you up to? Hang on. So Stars, you're up to 2. No, you're up to 2 now. Big, you're up to 2.
Yeah.
I'm up to 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep track of that.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll get like 7 Captain Dathons in one pack.
96
That's
packs to
where
go.
Right.
Fuck. Where we go? There's a Dathon.
Oh, Dathon.
There you go.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh my word! I think
There's
this
a
has to
choice
be.
there.
I think it has to be
That is
Burnham,
a
but I'd like you to convince me why it's not. Because Musketeer, you're going to get one.
Snap choice is Burnham to me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm trying to think
Picard.
of any reason to take Picard because that Picard is boring as paste.
yeah,
He's
I
inspiring.
mean, there's some
but that
collection
guy's-
value there.
Yeah, that's kind of all
Is
he's
he?
got.
What's he in? No, he's not in holodeck, is he?
Inspiring.
Oh well, yeah. That's if it gets
But that's a
expanded
really
like
easy one to
Diplomat.
finish, and it hasn't been expanded yet.
Yeah. Hang on.
I tell you what, that Burnham is still like what, number 3 command base or something like that.
She's huge. She's like I've got her fully equipped, and she's got massive bases even at 1 of 5.
Yeah. And I've seen at least
the rest
3
of the stuff
Burnham
around that
variants
command base is. Well, the rest of the stuff around the command base is not as much.
Yeah.
It's very
as
boring,
like first office or anything.
No love for
But
Mulhall.
If Otto were here, I'm sure he'd be screening for her, but as it is, I couldn't give less of a.
If it was
TOS.
Miranda Jones, I'd probably take it more than Mulhall because I thought Miranda Jones was a
Oh yeah,
more
because she
interesting
got
character.
Vulcan. Like that's an easy one to justify.
Well, oh yeah, actually, I am 1 star away from finishing Vulcan, and that star is EV Suit Spock. So if I don't get him in
Very
recaps
good.
next week, I'll have finished Vulcan. So I'm not taking that. I'm going to take Burnham. I think it is Burnham, isn't it? Because she's massive.
It's kind of got me Burnham.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Burnham
I've
it
seen
is.
at least 3 new variants in the 3 episodes of Discovery I've watched.
Well, there you go. And all frozen, so that's easy. Okay. Moogie. Always say Moogie. One of my most useful super rares in the early game. She was great. I think she hit a few Ferengi dip
Oh,
modes
you
for
youngins! That Moogie was the early game.
me.
Goodness.
It's my first day.
Well, there's going to be a rave of players. That's gonna be like, oh man, I remember starting during the Spock Tome Mega, and it was such a good Mega. I got so many good cards out of it. It's like, what?
I got to Pring.
Oh.
Oh, let me tell you about Zarabeth.
Jeez. Well, you know what? You say that, right? You say
Sarah
that.
Beth holding down my dip med voyages for years.
My best super rare
First
card.
straight drop.
My best super rare card was in the early days was Marsha. Would you believe it or not? But that was in the era. Martia even. Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean the very first fully fused purple I ever had was Caliphie Spock, who is not particularly great, but he was great for me for quite a while.
This. I don't remember who my first 4-star was.
Oh, another death on.
Oh,
they're going to get unlucky.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll tell you what. You've gotten 2 big goals and like what 1 straight drop. You're doing pretty alright.
Not bad,
so
is
far.
it? That's okay.
Yeah.
93. That's better than the last time I was pulling packs, and I pretty much I think it's 15 packs, and there was like 14 straight drops.
Paul Nee says he keeps almost dying in skirmish because he's watching the stream. I'm sorry, but
We're doing our work.
That's the problem when we're this entertaining.
Alright,
I see.
Yeah.
Kim or Solbor? I don't have them either, but
honestly, their event
Probably
shots are
Kim.
about equal.
I think Kim.
No, see, that's the thing. It's like it's surprising how many events Kim has gotten. I was thinking that he was like a no hope eventer, but he's gotten 12 events over the course of the game so far.
So lame. Ooh.
Oh, boom! Inglatu, it calls to you.
Okay, 1, you're not auto, and 2, I'm not that drunk yet. I think it's Rafu. Although Trip Wild West pack, I could do with finishing it, but I would rather take Rafu. I'd rather add to the
I
star.
tell you what. Okay, so what are your range bases like? What have you got in the way of enge?
Oh.
Big number.
Without looking at my roster, I don't know. Hang on.
I
I mean, I don't need him.
Right?
I don't need him.
No?
And I've got some space. I could take Tucker. Is he golden in any regard? I forget.
He's like a 45%
he's
at best. He's not great though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Red Angel, right?
Yes.
You'll never use him. He's one of
Okay.
those.
But there is the collection aspect.
Yeah.
I don't need Rafu. He's not going to make that much of a difference. Okay, I think you might have convinced me to trip there. I'm going to trip over this decision, and
I complain about this every time, but I really do wish that there was a good trip in the game because all of them suck. All of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Took a second to think.
Tucker from Twilight as like a big command enge, that would really like hit the spot for me.
Do you know what this takes me back because I've not had a pull with a good super rare and a good gold in it that I've actually thought, this is the better choice.
Jim as a good super rare is a bit
for something I haven't got.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Let's move on as quick as we can.
Still not a straight drop.
Another death on.
Another death on too.
Yeah. Could take War for you, stars. Look.
There we go.
And
you didn't need another Captain Janeway? Another Coffee Janeway?
No, because I've already got Evolved 5/5, and I'm not going to do a dupe. So
okay, all right.
Okay, what's happening in chat? Chat. Sorry, I realised things were going. Sorry, apologies, chat. I've not been paying attention. Trip is terrible.
People are impressed at your clip of golds.
It's going well actually. That's my third one so far, and I've only done. Let's have a look. Yeah, I've only done 9 packs. So
we got like 10. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, yes, that's
Binar.
That's the 4th star on the Binars. Let's do that now. Hell yeah, best straight drop ever.
I think that's the most excited anyone's ever been for a Binar.
I'm hyped. I love it. Like you say, you love that
Oh,
episode.
I would be right now. I'm trying to build him as a side project.
Yeah.
So I would be.
Hang on.
Really? You're gonna do that Garrick thing?
Yeah.
We're doing this live, babe. Oh, he's on a shuttle. Oh, get off the shuttle. How soon are my shuttles come back? All right, 1 hour and 28. All right, okay, fine. We're not doing that live.
We'll occupy you for that long.
Okay. Well, if we're still here at whatever time that is, then yeah, all right, we will. But yeah, star number 4. No, Stephen and Sinner, I'd love to fuse them right now, but unfortunately, I put one on a fail boat. All right, got that Spock. Worth duping. Oh, another Dathon.
I'll tell you what. If you were the kind of
you're running away.
Person who did dupe, no, you're beating us quite badly. If you were the kind of person to dupe, that Spock is a card to dupe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I do have 2 of them. I've
check
thought about doing a third just because he seems to pop up so often, but
yeah, I've got him.
He's kind of the mascot of the franchise, really, isn't he?
Well, he was for last season. I think he's. Oh, what Spock in general? Yeah, not that Spock.
In general, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You say Star Trek, people think Spock.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of Lefflers there.
Lots of Lefflers.
Loads of Lefflers.
Oh,
Is that the collective term? A load of Lefflers.
Yes, I actually do want this Riker.
Yeah.
Yeah, get dumb Power Rangers Riker.
Ambojitsu. That's so much hope. Oh well, some honor there.
You broke your little ships.
Yeah. That's a great. That's a great. Keep Spock. Paul Need says keep Spock.
Oh boy.
Paul Need for reference. I have a strict, semi-strict no dupes policy. I was sort of duped into getting Reverend Phlox twice because I immortalized him, and then literally the next month his campaign dropped. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. I will.
That's rough.
I don't think you regret that.
No, and I haven't. He's been.
Yeah, like Command Med is one of those ones where it's like.
Oh, there's Worf.
Oh, Pants Worf.
Pants Worf. But yeah, I don't need that Janeway. Da-da-da. Lobster Kirk. Lobster Riker. Yeah, he is a bit like a lobster.
Even calls that Ambo Jitsu Riker as Lobster Riker, and he's not wrong.
Let's check off.
We've all felt that.
Yeah. Do you know what? Not many straight drops. I'm very impressed by this so far.
Yeah, you're actually doing okay.
This is alright. I don't mind that.
Still continues.
Oh. No, that's different Tuvok.
Wrong Tuvok. There we go.
Apollo!
No, that was...
I'll take Apollo.
That was security chief, Tuvok.
Yeah, wrong one.
Oh, yeah, they look pretty similar.
Oh!
Okay. I do want Mirror.
I think it's going well.
It's got to be Cornwell. She's still a really good card.
Oh, she's great. I don't need Vulcans. Labour's not great. I think it has to be. I do kind of want Mirror Spot.
And especially if you have ED2 finished, you're getting most of what these 2 guys offer anyway.
True, very true.
Mind you, that is Mirror Spot.
That is Mirror Spock.
But do you want to take him another 4 times in Beholds?
No. Well, it depends on the Beholds. I think it's Cornwall. I think you're right. Let's get that last star in. Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
it'd have to be a little closer.
And a diplomat. Yes, I can actually finish her this skirmish as well. Hell yeah. Nice.
Very nice. Nice.
Oh, everyone's saying Mirror Spock. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize, chat, for not.
Well, it's just he's not going to be useful until he's fully fused, and that's a long way away.
Yeah, and I don't think you're particularly experimental with your ship setup either, because a lot of people are using there, but
it's not. It's the standard, the vanilla setup. Kumtar. Yes, I don't have him, and he's a diplomat, so yes, thank you. Oh,
very good.
What we got? No other.
Just like searching the blues.
Oh no, this is actually generally the best part of this. I'm glad you came up with this.
So naturally, the one where you need the purple from the straight drop, you get all crew, no schematics.
Yeah, no, what is this? Look, this is some garbage. What the hell? When did I get this?
Oh, Shire Porn says, but Mirror Collection. I did actually forget that. But never mind.
Yeah.
We're committed now. That's fine. I think Mirror Collection's a long way off.
No,
but Diplomat is closer, I think, for me, at least to get
There's
to 40.
a lot worse cards in there. Like Mirror has some real garbage in there.
Yeah. Another Chekhov. I've already done him. Oh, another Wolf.
Oh, Pants Wolf.
Hey, we're catching up. You're just one behind me now.
Oh boy.
I'm just way in the dust.
DC Pilot points out that it's a crime that Corner wasn't done already, and he's not.
I suppose. Silic.
Silic. Yeah. After the Enterprise Mega is done.
Yeah, well, it's the typical. It's the typical
not
thing.
That he would have done anything for you.
No,
but, you know.
not in that one faction.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're at 4 golds out of like 20 packs. You have a really good ratio right now.
It's good. It's going good. Well, I won't get anything else now. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, it's true.
Thanks for coming, guys.
You can all tune
Glad I
out.
could be here.
Yeah. Another Apollo. Thank you.
Oh, another star on Apollo. There you go.
Right, this is working
I
out.
think he counts for inspiring as well. I remember him being really useful early game.
Let's have a look. He is not. No. He's. Oh no, he is. Sorry. Yes, he is. Oh, and another caregiver.
Don't
That's
worry,
good after the caregiver.
there's plenty of people who've made a successful living without being able to read.
Oh, bitch. Oh, we're playing that game, aren't we? Right, that's the first 20 done.
Love you.
Quick before he kicks you.
Yeah,
you picked wrong with EV2, Volk. He's barely showing.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Good lord.
Adam Purley asks, has the introduction of the Mirror Collection increased any character's Big Book ranking? So
I think it has, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, several. Mostly purple.
The sad thing is, all it did was make us shine a spotlight and go, oh wait, these true are trash. And then we moved a lot of them down after they got a big stat boost in collection.
I think, wasn't it like a lot of the golds went down, but the super rares went up?
The purples went up,
Yeah. A few of the golds did go up. I think Miracela Detmer went up a tier because we were like, you know what, that instant damage isn't bad, and the Mirror Collection makes she's not useless to take. But a lot of them we moved down because like they're really bad. They're really bad.
And we hadn't gotten around to looking at them recently, and that something like
Exactly.
that, something new is always a good time to reevaluate
them
crew.
aside and saying down. No, we didn't.
Archer, I think I've got him. I think I've done him. Oh yeah, I did him from the event.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, he's a decent enough dip base for the
right.
events he pops up in.
See, here's the straight drops are coming in now. No, that's Don.
We
not
jinxed
Daffel.
it, it's fine.
Let's keep going to Paul. Got her done. Vulcan. Wrong Tuvok.
Wrong Tuvok again.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I knew not to pick one of the new blues because I had like such a long streak of not getting them in pulls. I was like, let's look at this.
Unless you'd have taken Picard at Eladrel, because he's been dropping like gangbusters.
Suda it is.
Suda.
Have fun building that guy.
Is he a pain?
Yeah.
Oh, he's an awful build. He has tons of
wonderful.
orchids and science experiments to do. It's
I
awful.
will. Oh, look, another Apollo.
Another Apollo.
Sweet. I thought we finished Ruck.
Very nice.
I can't remember. I thought I'd done. And all
Rocking in the free world.
Hey, rocking in the free world.
In fact, you might be better served off by doing what Big. Who is it that you had as a constant science experiment mule, or was it medical experiments? Was it Dana?
Oh, Roga Dana.
Yes, I still have her. Yeah, she. I've got her as a diplomatic protocol and 4-star science experiment mule.
So it might be worth just building up Suda purely through Pants Wolf, purely through campaign crates. Ooh.
Oh
no! Oh, that's horrible.
Snap thought is Garrett.
I don't know. Hang on.
My
Kang is
snap
a
thought
diplomat.
is Kang because diplomat and he's fun.
I do like Garrett. I think of all the characters, I like Garrett, but she's really bad.
She's completely useless.
Yeah, Reed is. I hate. I like that episode because it's got Moss's name from Quantum Leap in it, but no. I think that's got to be Kang because he's diplomat, and it's fun. Yeah, it's a bit more fun. He can go with Koloff.
I mean, like Garrett also counts as diplomat, but the fact of the matter is, I like her character, but she's not as fun as Kang.
Yeah, not Reed.
Well,
Definitely not Reed.
And it's really rare that you're going to hear me talking you into taking a Tusculus, so you should do it on that basis alone.
It's just because it's a Klingon, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're now tied with me for your blue crew. So we're five each. Big on 2.
Don't worry, Big. There's plenty of time to come back.
There is.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, that's cool. Let's take Core to go with the set. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Horrible amount of
Maybe you'll get
schematics.
to go. Yeah, it's always a bit rough when you see all the schematics come up.
That read looks like the
It's
most
pure
read of any
replicated fuel
card.
now. I just dumped all of them.
Another Spock. God, there's been no EV2 Vox at all, has there?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, not since we've gone to the packs.
Oh,
but,
another
not
Kumtar.
there.
Yes, sweet. Easy diplomat.
I'm sorry, what did you call him?
Kumtar? Kumtar? How is it?
Kimtar.
Kumtar.
Because when you say Kumtar, it sounds like you're saying something very rude and wrong.
Check.
An alternate description for armor, as it were, but...
I pulled so many Kumtar, I'm covered in Kumtar.
Oh, no.
Just kidding.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
So, kind of won that data.
Why not?
He's the only data
Yeah.
I don't have apart from Romulan. Spock's not going to get me any further, is he?
Yeah, I mean he's not as useful as you would think, but
Hang on.
still.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Tricorder.
All right, that's since it.
No,
Since you
sorry,
put the effort
it's
in,
not.
it's data.
Hey man, that's an essential part of our show. That's our beholder meter
Yeah.
right there.
For people wondering
Well,
why
plus
it takes.
Adding stars to Gangster Spock, that's just
Yeah,
It's
I.
just
flushing it down the
errand,
toilet,
really.
basically.
Yeah, I
And if
wasn't-
you've got Vulcan done and you've got Jury Rigger done, then there's really no
Yeah.
justification.
they'll probably expand it tomorrow, and I'll be like, oh.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Jury Rigger feels like it's like way too narrow for them to do that.
True.
Yeah.
Mind you, they have been putting a lot into it lately. Maybe they could go up another tier, maybe another 10 or so.
Have there even been 40 jury riggers now? I don't know if there have.
I know
don't
that
know.
the
Have to look.
TAS worm green
having-
slug thing, he was a jury rigger. They've been
Oh.
adding them slowly, but they're not nearly as attractive as they used to be.
I can't remember if I finished Orion or not.
It's the big show.
It is the big
Shots
show.
fired, EM Green.
Oh yeah, I finished him.
Not
I'm
attractive.
done.
Oh yeah, he's
That's
gonna
fine.
come for me. That very, very tired.
Oh, I watched the episode today. He's such a little whiny creature. He's terrible. But he looks nothing like his art. It's weird. I don't know where they pulled that from. I think it's been
Really?
embellished a little bit.
Hmm.
Got that Kira.
Weird.
One of the first super rares I did that Kira. She's terrible.
She is pretty terrible. She does get, I think, a 45% gauntlet though, because she shares
does she?
that one with Garrick. Yeah, Obsidian Order, Saboteur Cardassian, I think it is.
It says Yar, easy Yar.
Yar, I guess.
From the worst episode in Star Trek ever.
Yep.
That's saying a lot. I don't know. There's some other ones I could think
Another
of.
Suda. I'll take another Suda. What's the gold count? The
Okay,
gold
yeah,
count
so-
is 6. I'm up to 6 golds.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, are you guys both in agreement that Code of Honor is the worst?
It's pretty bad. I think worst
I mean,
tonally.
Threshold is up there.
Threshold had
The
good
worst thing about
intentions.
Threshold
Six Day
it's
is
decent
pretty-
for the first half, and then it takes a nosedive.
Threshold at least is a well-constructed episode that doesn't really offend anyone.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. Well, it makes people who believe in evolution, I suppose.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, no. Code of Honor is it's definitely one I just outright skip.
Oh,
on a
apparently there are
rewatch.
51
Yeah,
jury
no, it's-
riggers. 51 jury riggers.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one of those ones where you have to go, please
They
believe
sneak
me,
up on
TNG
ya.
is worth watching.
Yeah.
TNG is worth watching, please believe me. Don't look at that.
That's what I keep telling my children.
Meanwhile, in the background, you hear, you will have no vaccine and no Lieutenant Yar.
Down to the last 60. Ah. Oh, another Yar. Oh, this is quite good.
Oh, there you go.
Getting those.
And don't forget, Code of Honor also has
Oh boy.
That might. Oh no, Rom's a diplomat. That might
It's
have to
grim.
be him.
Rom,
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I have actually airlocked
I'm-
that Sato before, back when I was real low on
she's
crew slots.
awful.
Yeah, I think it's Diplomat. It's
Easily wrong.
So I have a question for you. I think that ROM was given away as a 400k threshold reward for a skirmish.
He was.
Indeed, he was.
I think
So
my account
you must
was.
have airlocked him previously.
I
no?
didn't, because I think my account was too young to get there when he was.
Oh really?
I think that was Science Officer Spock, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, and I got
it was.
Spock.
That
I
was a
got
big
Science
one. I was
Officer
like,
Spock.
I need that.
Yeah, he was like my second gold I could rank in a 1,500. So I think he was just about when I couldn't quite get there. I think it was a faction event, so there was no hope for my account then.
Yeah.
So that's good. I've got another diplomat to add to the
Yeah,
pile.
no, I do love good old ROM.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
one of my favorite characters from DS9.
That's a nice card.
That's a
So someone is saying that the worst was the clip show at the end of TNG Season 2, and you're not
They're not wrong.
Yeah. But it does have that.
But again, it's not actively offensive.
Offending anyone, yeah. It does have the moment when Troy is like, oh, he's feeling very warm and happy, and then it cuts to like Riker going, while he thinks of all the women he's boned, and it's just like, okay, thank you for setting the tone.
I think like behind the scenes, it was very much the writer strikes on, we need an episode, so you can kind of forgive it for being a victim of production problems. So.
Yeah. And it is also hilarious because you get like 17 reruns of the Data Something's got me. That's pretty hilarious.
Man, there's been none of the blues we want at the moment.
Yeah, no, we should have just said every blue, and then you wouldn't have gotten a single blue. It would have been nothing but beholds.
Oh, another Worf. There you go. You take the lead.
Hands Worf. There we go.
Oh, you take the lead. You're at 6. I'm at 5. Bigger at 2.
You'll never steer you wrong.
Horta.
After that episode, that episode was the one time.
Have I done Horta? I think I have. Oh no, I haven't. I haven't done Mother Horta, so yeah, she can stay. I thought I had.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe I airlocked her recently. I think I did.
Maybe.
Cannot remember. 'Twas some time ago.
Remember?
Can you remember?
21st night.
Yes, thank you. I was wondering if that would trigger. I keep seeing Donick and I keep thinking Dathon, but he's not.
No, he's another similarly brown alien. Well, that sounded way worse than I intended. Wow.
But Shireporn says, but Code of Honor at least teaches us what not to do in the modern era. I'll take the object lesson over utter boredom. Oh.
Okay, but I have a counterpoint to that, which is that Code of Honor does have that awkward moment when, like, Troy is talking to Tasha about, like, being abducted, and she's like, there's a part of you that enjoyed it, and then Tasha's like, yeah, but no, wait, and I'm like, are you serious with this? This victim-blaming stuff? Like, what the hell?
It's coming out of that original series
so
misogyny.
Retrograde. I mean, it's retrograde in multiple levels of
it was dated at the time. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Barrack. I need Barrack.
Well, and then there's you dig into the back. Another Pants Wolf. Good God.
More Wolf, more problems.
You got that sexual magnetism, man. Can't fight it.
But the thing where there was nothing written in the script that the planet, the residents of that planet were supposed to be pseudo-Africans, and then the director decided that they had to be, and then
the director of that also directed one of the Stargate episodes, season 1 episodes that was very similar, very kind of similar prospect.
Oh, it's almost as if there's a common thread here.
Let's have a look, shall we?
Have you got a salamander on your shoulder there, Big?
No, I can do you one better. It is actually a plush of a tardigrade.
Oh, amazing! Another story.
Very good. Pants Wolf and
Evie Tuvok.
Yeah, it's a good.
Oh, and a gold, I guess.
Oh,
fine.
Yeah, right.
What are you more excited about? Okay.
Evie Tuvok, easily. Come on.
Well, I don't want Craft. I know that.
Craft.
Yeah.
That Uhura has got. She's got something good about her. I can't remember what.
Really good voyage, actually. I think
she's got stats.
But
she got them stats, man.
But Lily,
and you are a TMP lover.
I do love the motion picture. Actually, you're a good point. Yeah, I think I might have to.
And I think she's pretty, like, I think everyone came out of TMP looking really bad in terms of the aesthetics, because I hate the uniforms. She wears it the best, I think.
Yeah.
I think her look is actually pretty good. She's got that whole,
Yeah.
you know, you'll appreciate the Jerry Anderson UFO look. She looks like she could be one of the Destiny Angels.
Oh, I
Or,
could...
you know, it's like a nurse at a hospital kind of vibe or something. That kind of thing.
A little bit. In what, like St. Elsewhere or something, yeah.
So the point that her as a good Voyager is useless at 1 of 5 for me, so that she requires sights, but I do kind of want the card for the card as opposed to... I want to pick the Behold for last, so... But then Lily, I would get me closer to the... Go on.
To put it in baseball terminology, you can't steal first base. You can't cite the first star.
You cannot, no. No, that's true, that's true, yes. Okay, right. Mind made up. I love the motion picture. It is my favourite Star Trek movie. Suck
there
it.
You go. That's the one. Make sure you keep that blue count updated.
Oh, I have. Don't worry, I have. And the gold count as well, actually. Yeah. There we go. So that's number 7 gold.
Oh, Skycap also points out there are Enterprise episodes that teach the wrong lessons, like withholding treatment that will save a species, or Cogenitor, where Archer manages to kill a non-binary alien because he's an asshole. That's a good point.
Yeah. Oh, we could get into Enterprise's questionable decision.
Many problems, yeah. Hey, Kern! Go for Kern, you know you want him.
Yeah, I think so to be. I've airlocked that Marla so many times so she can stay
The
off.
immortal Tony Todd. What could be better?
Is the Candyman. Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, man.
I can tell you who it's not going to be.
Garrick.
It's going to be Garrick.
Oh, it's Garrick.
Unless Trips anything.
It's Garrick.
I tell you what, though. A triplicate of End Check people. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing Trips really got going for him is Timeline's original collection.
Yeah.
And he's a jury rigger, but...
so awful. He's like Voyager 250 or something.
Garrick. Easy.
Might even be worse than that.
I think so, actually, yeah. Because he debuted badly, and that never goes well.
Okay.
Yeah, and he actually was an anchor for me early on because I was trying to pull to get Pugilist Q's last star, and I ended up getting like 4 trips, just boom, all in a row. So
that's
where
like getting the gold is worse than getting the 4-star.
Got
Yeah.
that Coke finished.
Oh, you have a massive hard-on for that version of
that
Coke,
is,
right?
yeah, he's great. He's really good. I was trying to talk you guys into tier 1ing him for ages, but I think I can understand it. I can understand the reasoning. Oh, is it Dathon? Dathon, whatever. I'll take Kirk since we're in a Kirk mood.
Call him Jason.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I'll just call him Paul.
Everyone said Garrick on that, and I don't think anyone will fight you.
Oh, he's a wolf.
Because not
And...
Pants Wolf. Pants.
Toby Russell, what's she got?
Dr. Russell, I guess.
Yeah, I'll
She's a physician. That's about it.
She's got +1 more to immortalize. That's what she's got.
She's got +1. Everyone hates her. Ooh, there you go.
Well, Vic, I literally just froze today. Vic, I froze today. Literally, so
2 new purples. That's pretty good.
I'm getting. I mean, I've been neglecting purples for a while. I've been airlocking them on site because I've had less crew slots.
Well, it makes these kind of things a lot more enjoyable because it means you actually get something out of all the straight drops.
Definitely.
I don't get that anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I won't after this. Okay. Oh look, event crew.
Share your opinion.
I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen that since like 2001.
Oh, it's amazing when Cyborg is in the middle of a behold because he's just like, look at these crew.
Do I have
they
to
could be so amazing.
I think I do. So I just need to look up.
Will they enrich your life?
I do have her. Yes, she is done. So I can airlock her on site.
I tell you what, if your kid puts the target on his shoulder often enough, you'll get a Ripper in the Behold. I'm sure that's the legend.
I know. I've immortalized him, so I don't need him.
Dathon.
Dathon. We got
Dathon.
Dathon brings me. Oh man!
Ooh.
I could have had 3 or 5 Spock. Shit. Oh well. Okay.
Go Laurel.
Do you think?
Laurel. Yeah.
Diplomat.
Yes.
Diplomat. Oh yeah. Sure,
and she's actually got decent numbers.
Yeah, she's very similar to
I
Mother.
am holding out hope that Strange New Worlds will continue to feature Laurel and Tyler because it's in the right time period. I'd love that.
Yeah, definitely not COP Picard. My alt has him. He's terrible.
Yeah,
but he's inspiring.
Counts for Timeline's originals, but I would go Laurel, especially because I love her character in Discovery. I really like her.
You are talking.
And the actress who plays her is a massive Star Trek nerd, and I appreciate that.
Stephen Sinnott, you are correct. I could have had Spock at 3 or 5. You goof. Okay, but you know what?
Guess what? A Spock at 3 out of 5 and a Spock at 1 out of 5, they're indistinguishable, actually. The basis of that bad.
All frozen, so we're good.
Yep.
Colonel Carr is actually my mule at the moment.
Mary Chieffo, who plays Laurel, is a massive Star Trek nerd. Like, I remember when she was talking about playing her, that she was like looking at people like Grilka for inspiration because she wanted that kind of theatricality and that romantic side. I really love that.
Okay, 43. We're getting there. We're doing it. Okay.
Another car.
Another car. He is very good.
Used car sale.
Alright, you're off. Cut his audio. We're out.
He is very good if you want to use a mule for both holograms and ancient films, because pretty much every level of him needs it. So,
I guess, yeah.
I begolded for spite. I did not do it out of spite. I was talked into it.
Spite. We just don't want that.
Tuvok!
Hey. Oh, you're catching up.
I was waiting for like 2 Dathons to put up just to like rain on your parade.
Yeah.
Right, let's get rid of these.
I mean, what am I, like 6 behind at this point?
You are on 4. Stars, you're winning on 9. I'm on 7, so...
I'm ahead. Always bet on Worf. In fact, isn't that a line from Generations? Number 1, in all my years, I have learned never to bet against a Klingon.
Yep. One of 3.
Yeah, one of the 3 Hirogen popped up. I was talking about this with Automaton, about how, like, there's like half the factions in this game are so wildly underrepresented. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, Hirogen, Kazon, they have like 3 cards, and I don't think any of them are above a 4. Ooh.
I'll take
Kimdar, there you go. That's like 3 out of 4 now.
Yeah.
And that is James
Getting
Sloyan.
stuff done.
That is James Sloyan, correct, who played Jatrell and also, what's his name from The Defector? I forget his name right now.
Jarok.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Aladar Jarok.
And Maura Paul also.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
he's
he
one of those
is.
great Trek alumni who turns up every time, and you're always happy to see him. He's a great value.
Tuvok!
Yeah. He is...
I was waiting for a Bagola, so I could be like, oh, and this shit, I guess.
He's also like Gregory Itzen. Gregory Itzen, who people might know him from 24, was playing Vice President Logan. He has also been in a lot of Star Trek stuff. Like, he just pops up and you go, oh, it's him! I know his face.
Yeah. Shia Porn says, I've never heard of this mule technique. Is it for gathering Darbo items? No, it's you leave slots open on a crew, and then because they have an open slot, every time you pull a campaign equipment crate, you have a chance of getting that item. So if it's a particularly rare and common item, you just leave that slot open, don't equip it, and you just gather them.
Yeah, it'll also drop in Gauntlet loot boxes also.
Exactly, yeah. And it's also a thing of you can leave the slot open, and then when you're playing a skirmish, it gives you easy tap access to an item that you need.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing that you could do is leave that open, but don't level to that point, and then you can use it for daily replications.
Yeah.
If you just want to burn through replications and you have the resources for it. But I prefer to leave it to where the campaign, just because I get so much just chaff in those campaign loot boxes that I prefer to
I've gotten
skip.
like named items in there. Like I got like freaking 10 of it's like time crystal, and I was like, are you serious? So back.
I think I just picked up my I think I just picked up my 4th Kukalaka, gold Kukalaka.
Well, to be fair, Kukalaka's alright because that's for almost every Bashir requires that. But I remember getting the time crystal from Boreth in a campaign crate, and I held on to it for months because I was like, "There's gonna be a Boreth Pike. There's gonna be," and I was like, and then Boreth Pike turned up, and he requires a different version of the exact same item. I'm like, are you serious?
I have
kept that all that time.
I have Law's.
I was so angry.
I have one of Law's gold items. I don't have that Law, but I have his item just in case to save me like.
I think I have
somewhere.
three of the gold items that Intendant Kira needs, and I've just been hanging on to them, and she hasn't dropped for me yet.
So one of my first golds I immortalized as well. Oh, another Dathon.
Dathon.
Yeah.
Dathan.
Dathan, come and
Alright, so
to
we've talked about the worst episode of Star Trek. This was going to keep us going for the rest of the stream, I bet. Favorite episodes of Star Trek?
Favorite.
I know it's cliche, and everyone says it, but it's got to be In the Pale Moonlight.
I thought you were going to say The Inner Light there, because it's usually one of those two.
The Inner Light's good. It's good, but I know, everyone quotes it, but I absolutely love In the Pale Moonlight. I think that's up there.
It's amazing. What about you, Big?
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely stands out in just in being very dark and
well, it's almost interesting how people say it's the best Star Trek episode because it's so unlike Star Trek because it's all about doing the grittiness, but that's what kind of elevates it. You need the context of the wider series to really appreciate it because it just stands out as this is the lowest you went. Pants.
Yeah.
I think my favorite.
I'm sorry, you're having a very nice philosophical, deep discussion about Star Trek episode.
No. My favorite bit in the episode is just Garak just going up and saying, "That's why you came to me because I could do those things that you could not," and I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
The whole interplay.
And all it
costs that's again why
the life of one
it's
Romulan
come up.
senator, a few liters of biogenic gel, and the self-respect of one Starfleet officer.
I think
for the life of the entire Alpha Quadrant, I'd call that a bargain.
Amazing. Your recall is
and I loved sticking that in his note when I read the note originally.
I think as well.
It's one of those ones you have to.
I think the contrary to that is the best sort of other episode that I like in D9 in that sort of vein is the I forget the name of the episode, but that's where the Tal Shiar and the Obsidian Order they unite. That two-parter.
The Dyer's Cast.
The Dyer's Cast. That's correct. And you get that bit where Odo confronts Garak and he's like, "You blew up your own shop," and he's like, "I did." And, there's a real sort of heart-to-heart with him.
There's that moment of like, "I know you did," and he's like, "Oh wow, you actually worked it out."
Yeah.
I was actually talking with Autumn about that episode because this is a really stupid thing, but as someone who appreciates like literature, so you know how we have the romantic trait in game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of them refer to like being romantic toward another individual, like being in like a romantic relationship. I think the Obsidian Order Garak, like the version from that episode, is the only one in the entire game who is romantic in the terms of having an affection for one's country or nation or planet, as it were, and his culture. Because that's the entire reason why he flips over to Tane's side, is because he has such a romantic idea of what it used to be under.
That's quite cool. I like that.
In the Cardassian thing, it's like he's the only one I can think of who has that specific version, that notation of romantic to it, and for a literature nerd, that matters.
That's awesome, actually. No, that's cool. That's really good.
Quite deep. So I've been thinking, and what my mind keeps coming back to is Tapestry. I think.
Tapestry's a very good one.
Because it's like I think it is got a great blend of comedy and spirit and drama
as well.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the maybe one of my favorite Star Trek lines ever is when Q says that he's God, and oh man, and
because it says I refuse to believe that the universe is so poorly designed. Yeah.
Yes. And so just for that alone, I would. So
I still want
that might be my
one-star Lieutenant Picard in the blue uniform. I think that'd be a really fun card.
Very fun.
Oh yeah, no, that has to exist. Lieutenant J.G. Picard.
Yeah. Which for some reason will probably be
especially because people would confuse and think that that's his initials somehow.
Yeah. J.G. Yeah.
There'll be a comma in there somewhere.
Yeah. Somewhere.
Jean-Georges Picard.
Jean-Georges. Christ.
It's the mirror universe.
Jean-Luc Georgie Picard.
Garon, got that Garon. Oh,
Dathan.
Dathan. There you go.
We're looking at. I'm just.
Are you ahead now?
No, you're still 1 point ahead. You got 10. I'm on 9. Bigger on 5.
Wolf, 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 wolf.
Oh, look, another yard. Thank you.
4-star yard. Sorry.
So that's a 4th star, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I think 3rd or 4th. Yeah, she's turned up a few times now.
We might have to have a count. We'll do it after. It's fine.
Shire Porn says
Wrong,
TOS Balance of Terror, TNG Offspring and Lower Decks, Yesterday's Enterprise, DS9 Trials and Tribulations. Those are all really good episodes.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. No, Lower Decks, still fantastic. Yeah.
Well, it inspired the entire show because of how unique that perspective is.
Yeah.
I really want Sito Jackson from that episode. I think she deserves like a 5-star version because it's a very iconic.
Well, now we have Mokbara Crusher. We could have Mokbara
Jackson.
I would love Mokbara Worf, but of course I would.
It'll come.
Now, Idle, I hate to call you out like this.
Go on.
But you just had a Behold with like a Yar and a not owned Mirror Vic Fontaine.
Oh, bugger. I'll just pick that. Do you know, I always think I've done him, but never mind. Never mind. I'll
said not owned.
He'll come back.
Pull you out on stream.
It's fine. Just rather than pulling me up later. By the way, did you know?
You could send in a nicely worded ticket to
support
customer
ticket.
service. And
I was being deluded by my fellow co-host. It's not my fault. You can see.
I wasn't paying attention. Here's the evidence. That's fine.
Ask Ben. He'll vouch for me.
I think I did send a support ticket. It took all my light to say hi to Ben for me.
That'd be great. I'd love that.
But no, I don't want to take that.
And Shannon's like, lol, but no.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't trade in on your 1 stars for 1 5-star.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Okay, 21 left. We're getting there.
Lucky 21.
Goals are drying up a little bit.
Eric. Well, you had a bit of a lucky streak there.
Definitely did. I mean, I've had 9 goals, so that's pretty damn good.
That's how probability go.
Double go. Double go. Double go.
4 star. I have cheesecake is done. She's 5-star, but I do want to collect just normal 7. So normal indignant. What is wrong with you, 7?
You became sexually aroused in my body, and then like, the dog was like.
I never 7. Well, I never.
Well, I never. I can't believe it.
I think that archer's done.
Yeah,
Straight drops are coming now. We've kind of. I think we've peaked now, and we're starting to come. The RNG cycle is.
We didn't do the straight drop count.
Oh no,
we'll be too depressing. It's always too depressing to do that.
No, you don't want to do that. Oh, EV2 Vox.
EV2 Vox. There you go.
And all frozen.
Thank you for taking Wolf. It's the right choice.
If it's frozen, I'll take Wolf for you, buddy.
Nice honor in that pack.
My legacy is untouched. Well, there you go. That's a rare straight drop that you can actually use.
Hurrah! I'll probably chuck her at the airlock as soon as like the crew slots get low, and I'm like, no, she's gone again, because that's what always happens.
Well, I don't think she has a particularly arduous build. You could finish her off during the skirmish.
Probably. I've got a list. It's fine. Gold count currently is 9 for Stephen asking.
You've got a list. Is that your version of I've got a spreadsheet?
I have. There's the start of the 5th star, and an EV2 Vox.
Tuvok.
Yeah.
Closing fast.
Oh, you are actually. Yeah, you're not far behind me actually. It's the best part about it. Fuck the golds. How many blues can you collect? Last 15. Okay.
This is totally a game we should play every time we do one of these. This makes it way more fun.
Oh, we're locking this in now. This is too much fun.
All right, so I have a question for you guys. Like
God.
the pivotal role that Bruce Maddox managed to play in Picard, is that the most out there? They never saw this coming when they wrote this 20 years ago. Resurgence for a character, because
gotta be.
Like he became so pivotal.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a shame they couldn't get the original actor back, but because it was a little bit of a disconnect there. It would have been nice to have seen him, but there was a bit of a like, oh, this is Bruce Maddox, and I suppose if you just jump on and go Picard, it's just woven into the story. But for those of us who just went, it's him, it's there. You know, they said his name. Yeah, he's going to turn up.
Oh, we lose different. Yeah. Well, that's one of those moments where like, they say Bruce Maddox, and you're like, wow, you're going for Bruce Maddox? Okay, well, cool.
Malik.
Malik, there you go.
Malik.
Do you have augment spinach?
Yes.
You didn't
7%.
take pajamas, Chekhov? Clearly not a true TMP fan.
I'll hand in my badge and my gun.
Your badge and your gun to the only other one that exists.
Shush you, it's a great film. We're gonna rewatch it. It's gonna have its resurgence. It's the right. Don't make me wax lyrical again, because I will talk about the motion picture for hours.
Oh God!
I literally will.
I have a question. Will it last as long as the motion picture itself?
It will, and possibly longer.
I still think it'd be fun for us to do like a commentary watch along for the movies.
Oh, I wish we could. I wish there was some sort of way we could get around the copyright.
Well, if we just synced up watching it and then like commentating
suppose,
over
yeah.
it, we wouldn't have to
just
have
do
it
it
on
riff
the
track
thing.
style,
Yeah,
where it's like 3, 2, 1, clap. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd be great fun, actually.
Yeah, because I do think it's underrated. I think Spock especially comes out really well.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, his arc in
film.
it is actually one of the genuinely like that moment when he grabs Kirk's hand. It's like this simple feeling is what BJ doesn't understand, and it's like that.
Yeah.
That's really gay, but also very, very Spock. Have you guys read about the motion picture novelization?
I've heard there's.
I just read about that like a day or two ago. Yes.
Where it's
the
written
thing
from
that
like
Kirk
Kirk's
is talking
perspective,
about.
and he addresses
Yes.
the fact that everyone thinks him and Kirk and Spock are gay. I think that's amazing. Ooh.
Whoa, Gary!
Wow. Oh, I do want Sulan. He's Sulan. I think Sulan, isn't it?
Sulan.
Yeah. He is. I love that episode. Faces. That's a great
He
episode.
pops
If you
well
like-
at 1 star.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like Sulan that much, I don't think LaForge really separates himself from the other NSEC crew that
He's
came around at the
best
same
numbers
time.
among them. He's a really good end set crew. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But
I would
how's
just say
Sulan?
it's like I ended.
How's Sulan's gauntlet these days? Is he being trumped? Is he?
It's not amazing. Like
No,
I was
I'm-
able to trounce him pretty easily when I was using my Celio Cobra, and that's a lower roll, but he feels a bit more solid.
I think I might take the fuse here because again
I'm
I've
sure
taken
there's
quite a few new
contingent
stars
who'll be
today.
angry with you for not duping Seven, because like Mr. Seven is.
Oh God, yes. You know, for anyone else's account, I'd say yeah, take the dupe. But I think on this case, I'm going to start because I don't do dupes, and he's great. He's brilliant. He gets a lot of work, but you know, I think I'll go LaForge. I think it's got to be.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. He's
You're going to
gauntlet
get hung from the
garbage.
yard arm, I'm sure, but I believe in you. I think you made the right call.
I think so. I've got to start adding some stars.
No,
That's why I did this.
You chart your course and you stick with it, and nobody can tell you you're wrong.
You know, it's like in,
they can. They really can.
Oh, they can, but you don't have to listen.
Where
Very true.
you know, you have chosen wisely.
You have chosen poorly. All frozen. Starting to run out of chances to catch up here, Big, but maybe you'll get lucky.
Yeah. What's going to be
7
all
left.
those schematics, they would have been EV Suit Tuvok, so really he's being robbed.
Oh, that Picard off. Nearly last.
Galen, wrong Tuvok.
Wrong Tuvok.
You really should have picked Captain Pike. He's done it quite a lot.
He's come quite far.
Yeah.
Sulu.
Oh, Captain Sulu.
Yeah, I do need him though. Haven't got him.
Do you really?
Load of Koloks.
I've airlocked him every time. I've just gone, I'll do him another time.
Wow,
That time is
there you
now. Working through my tier 9s and 10s.
I think he's a veteran. Does he count for another collection? I think he's like a double collection.
Veteran, no, but I think he was part of that Captain's Oath event where a certain amount of captains were eligible for the event, so that might be.
Yeah, that might be what I'm thinking.
Last 5, here we go, last 5, and then probably pulling for OO.
Let's see.
Nope. Crusher.
No Worf.
No Wolf.
You make your own fun in this game. You really do.
There's a
If
statement
there's
about
any
that
lesson
in
to
itself.
take away from this, yeah, that is a mission statement if ever there was one.
Oh, Dathan.
Dathan.
That's 10. We'll withdraw now, stars.
Another
Mirror.
star crew. You can do a lot worse.
Oh no, I need him. That's fine. That's star number 3 actually.
Very good.
Oh, nice.
Very good.
And again, I'm pretty sure I had him 404 at one point. I just went, I can't be asked and airlocked him. I need the slots for that 1 of 5 gold. I'm really getting. I think it was 1 of 5 and Mulehall.
Oh god.
No.
Is Mulehall like one of those like really like? We need to come up with a classification for that crew of like they were a number 1 base at one point and then they instantly weren't number 1. Everyone was like,
yeah. Okay, last one, last pull.
It's a Mulehall.
It's a Mulehall. Yeah, there you go. You've just coined it.
I remember I was really happy when I wrote Fungal Entity Maze note, and I was like, we need to come up with a term, and it's like, for this kind of crew that's going to crater the moment Discovery is not an event tag. It's gonna be May. Okay. I was very happy with that.
Okay, so that's that's 100 packs done. We're going to do some 490s. So at the moment, I am now leading with Dathan, 11. Stars, you have 10. Big, you have 7. We're up to 10 golds.
Are you catching up?
Hey, so
yeah.
I'm
doing better than I thought.
I need two 00 stars, so 2 pulls. Let's go. Wishful thinking. All right, let's do it. Are you sure
like 30 grand?
It's fine. Like, this is what I budgeted for. Detmer. We're interested in these golds. This is why I'm spending to lithium.
Fair enough. Okay. I mean, like OO is like I think she's got like a double collection crew. I think like was it like Inspire, like veteran and something else. And she's got really good voyage numbers.
She's great. So. That's kind of why I want to finish her off.
Yeah,
so that's 2.
And you're a Discovery aficionado, so it has that as well.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, she's mirror, isn't she? No, she's not. No, sorry, no, she's not. We do need mirror OO though. But she is disco.
Yeah, well, we can get the entire mirror. Like they were only on there for like 5 minutes, but that hasn't stopped them.
Wow.
There's a choice here.
There you go. That's all right. That's all right.
I don't want Brahms, do I?
I think you got to take OO.
I think it's gonna be okay.
Well, yeah, Brahms is not very. Yeah.
What was that? That was my third pull. That was my third pull, wasn't it? So that's not bad.
It's all right. You're still within budget, my friend.
Oh, I am. Not them. Yeah, yeah.
Still below par.
Yeah.
Man, like golf is so confusing to me. I thought like below par was bad until I watched. I think it was some kind of movie with golf, and I was like, oh, so below par is good.
Yes.
That's how little I pay attention to sports.
You've got to get. Oh, there we go.
We're done. Happy Gilmore. What? There it is. Well, we're done.
There you
4
go.
packs, 2 goals.
Done in 4. That's pretty good.
Win in.
Well, shit. Now we're out of stuff to do.
I did say I was going to skirmish a little bit, so. But yeah, well, let's have a look. So we've done 10 golds and 2 golds, so that's 12 golds and so many cards. I've gone well under budget there. Ooh, 2. Let's have a look.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
Okay, let's sort this fucking mess out.
Let's get to. So you want to know something terrible?
Go on.
Freaking automatons overflow was like 895 out of 270.
What? Did he just not airlock anyone?
He never airlocked anyone. He just like all the blues didn't care, just went through it. And so I was like, this is exciting. Just looking at this.
Right, well let's do OO first. Let's get her. Because I think I've got her. Yeah, I've got her thingies. Let's see the magic screen.
Oh man, that serotonin hit is coming in.
Feed me.
You need it. You just like attack it to my brains. Enjoy like Simpsons Barney gif right here.
Look at that. That's nice. That's a nice little bonus there. She'll come in use. She'll be voyaging soon. So, okay. Shall I sort this out now? Or shall I do it later? So we got some goals. So we've got another star for Garrick, another star for LaForge, first for Laurel, first for Uhura.
Florian Gay, I hope I'm saying that last name. It says, OO is the right choice, but Brahms is really good. I don't understand the hate. The problem with Brahms is that she has good numbers, but she hasn't got anything else really to support her. She hasn't got a lot of traits. I think she may be part of like one easy to finish collection, maybe Innovator. And it's a case of the instant she's not going to be doing anything for you on Voyages, she's purely like I like this character pick, and that's fine, but that's not the same as being good.
Yeah. Yeah, basically it's like there are other cards kind of around her that do most of the same things with more ancillary stuff to go with it. So
yeah, because you can't just chase the newest N-Psi like refresh. Like EV Suit Spock will perform very similarly to like Brahms in terms of your voyage capability and base, But guess what? He's Spock. He has collections. He has events. He has all this other stuff that he does as well. And in this case, I think it was Emery Erickson got added to the game not recently, and it was, he's basically a refresh, and you didn't have to wait into a 6-pack for him. When it comes to these periodic refreshes of very common skill set stacks, it's a case of either you're doing it for the love, or they have to have something else to them.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we're also
or ideally both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ideally both. But to be fair, we're extremely harsh on crew because we're it's kind of our job to judge them. So it may come across as, oh, they don't do everything with like backwards and ballet shoes on. Well, they're trash. And it's like, no, like it's not happening. I cited up Mirror Wolf like from 3 out of 5 because I love him. Like, do what you like, guys. I'm not going to judge you. But we have to try and make people do like the right thing when it comes to behold decisions.
I mean, a little look behind the scenes. I mean, sometimes we do have to fight against the tendency to be kind of binary with it, whether they're either great or they're terrible, and we have to dig deeper and find all. A perfect example to me is that new Fairhaven Kim. When I was looking at him, because at first I was thinking, oh, this is just a 2-skiller, doesn't really do anything, and then you look deeper into the numbers and you see that, well, the rest of Kim's variants are terrible, and his stats in comparison are better. So it's like you have to evaluate them on their own merits, and the merits based judged against the other crew, not just 2-skiller crap.
Yeah, no.
So on.
Okay.
And the thing is, like with Fairhaven Kim, there's at least like an outside chance of maybe like a very limited Fairhaven vanity, perhaps.
Well, I was surprised he's not a holodeck enthusiast, because that is very much the definition of a holodeck enthusiast. But...
Well, they're very, very careful about adding crew to that.
Yeah, because there's one per crew, one variant per crew, and there was already Beowulf Kim in that collection. So they have one Barclay, they have one Paris, they have one Kim, they have one, whoever else is in there, Data, O'Brien, and just one of each. Because... like I've said before, they picked the cheesiest, wrongest variant of Barclay to be in that collection, apart from maybe like Protomorphosis Barclay. And
I think Protomorphosis Barclay would enjoy a trip to the holodeck, given the day he's had.
Well, I'm going to do a bit of skirmish while we talk about these things. So I'm going to sort out my roster later. I need to do some sorting out there. There's quite a few sort of people.
Soul searching, as it were.
Some soul searching. I'm just finishing 10-hour voyage. Look at that. Let's go back. So I've got a few. I'm just gonna sit and sort of just do some skirmish, or we can chat shit for a bit. But this is my lineup for this skirmish.
For you and to each its own. Well, that's the thing. If she's doing great on your roster, that's good. But it's just a case of we look at the numbers and we go, how do you compare to X, Y, Z? We have to be as dispassionate.
Yeah, we don't compare the crew against your roster. We compare the crew against all the crew. And when you're looking at it, if you have the choice between all of them, chances are it's not going to be that specific one if you take everything into account.
Yeah, something to keep in mind with the big book is that it is kind of like a dream match where every single crew is available to you in a behold, and you have an equal chance of getting all of them. It doesn't work out like that. Sometimes you have to make do with the options that you get. And it's just a case of
like we were just talking about Ruafo not that long ago, and how he's a pretty poor Voyager. But I was talking about that for me, he is still an Eng Command Voyager on my roster, and I have a pretty strong, well-developed roster. But for me, that's the best option, so I use it.
And in the end, it's a case of what we try with the big book to do is to guide people into making good decisions and to really look at your roster in an evolved way and going, okay, what is an actual weakness on your roster? What will make a tangible difference in your day-to-day or your long-term prospects in the game? And often it's just a case of looking at what skill set combinations and what voyage pairs you could target, and you will see a marked influence. It's a case of Command Eng especially is one of those weird cases where you think there's more crew for it than there are, and a lot of the names are pretty poor. If you want like a good upgrade, what's the case of? Well, it's Braxton, and then there's like Amelia Earhart and Labor Kirk. But if you haven't been lucky enough to get them, then it's a case of, well, I hope you enjoy citing some really terrible datas or whatever, you know.
What are you talking about? There's no terrible datas. They're all amazing.
And it is also...
Wouldn't the plural of a data just be data?
That's true. Datas.
One's my name, the other is not.
It's his name, so it's
a
noun. I mean, if your name is, I don't know, can't think of anything relevant. If your name is Data, it's multiple of you datas. Sorry.
If your name is Data, then it's Data. And I also don't. This isn't us ragging on you or anything for it. It's a case of we have a bit of a joke in the Big Book Discord server, which is somewhere about any crew from the depths of the internet. Someone will say, "Performs well on my roster," and it's a case of it doesn't always translate that well.
Makes voyages for me.
I think I like to throw that in there every once in a while. You have this deep discussion. You go through all the finales, like makes voyages for me, and then I just go fuck off. It's my contribution.
Like cheering Shinzon makes voyages. Like, come on.
Do you know what? I'm going to put Shinzon on voyages just so I can say he makes voyages for me.
But
not that I have him.
It's not necessarily about judging what crew you've taken and about your roster. It's about advising people to make the best choices for them. And you kind of want crew that hit multiple things at the same time. You don't really want to be taking crew for one thing and one thing only, unless that one thing is something bulletproof. Like, Gangster Squad is still one of the best Sexai, Eng, whatever, Gauntlet crew in the entire game. And that's like something that hasn't changed a lot. And even though he's a bad prospect on the behold screen, that's value in the long run. You were going to say, Big?
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say that we never intended the book to be an all-encompassing resource where you make all your decisions based solely on what tier they are in the Big Book or anything like that. It was just supposed to be one piece of information that goes along with your preferences, your goals, and things like that, and then that just is another piece of the pie. It's not intended to be the resource.
Yeah, exactly. If you came up to me on Reddit or in Discord, and you said to me, "Oh, I think I know it's wrong, but I took this tier 3 crew over this tier 1 crew because I like them more," I'd say, "Good on you, man. This game is about making your own fun." Exactly. There's no wrong choices apart from Shinzon. Sorry, Skycap.
No. Actually, on this skirmish, I'm so low on crew to level just to farm intel that it's getting to the point where the Grilka and Shinzon sitting at the bottom of my roster at level 1 might be in play. Finally.
Yeah.
Dark days.
Karini asks, "May I ask why not have a shuttle skill pairs?" Geez, Huge just answered as I was typing, and I just answered my own question as you were answering yours. So there we go. That was informative.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, like,
for those of us who can't see the chat, that's scintillating.
Yeah, scintillating. It's one of those things where shuttle, base pairs alone doesn't tell the whole story of a crew. Like, if you went by that metric, Pring would outperform 90% of someone's roster, but that doesn't tell you the whole story.
I think it was one of the things that came out when I started looking at, shuttle pairs and voyage pairs and then triplets. Is you look at the voyage pairs and you see a lot of 2-skillers in the upper ranks, and it's because they've got some massive bases and enough proficiencies to put you up there, but they are 2-skillers and they're not going to fill they're not going to fill out a diverse voyager. And I think that sort of a lot of people look at that and go, "Oh, they're up there. They rank quite high, so they must be good." But
and I think a lot of people, when they staff their voyages, they will still just pick the top crew that pops up as they go along the skills, and it's a lot of 2-skillers like your minuets and whatnot.
Yeah, tourist tuckers.
It they don't realize that they're hurting themselves in the long run by doing that.
Yeah, because in the end, it's a case of you want to have as diverse a roster as possible. So you have, we use the analogy of a toolbox, and I think that's one of my favorite ways of looking at your roster is a case of you should have a tool for every occasion, and those can range from mallets, like your one skill Bones McCoy is your mallet, where you just go bonk, and that just solves the problem. But sometimes you need a motorized drill bit, or sometimes you need like a precision screwdriver, and sometimes you need that one screwdriver that has the magnetic bit so that it gets the screw and you can pull it out like that.
Can we tear the tools in my workshop?
Any number of... Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? I want to say is like Bones McCoy was one of the most what the fuck crew we've had in a long time, because he was one skill. As soon as he came, like, oh, med one skill, everyone's like, oh, crap. But actually, he's got such power in him that he makes the ranks, and he's just useful for everyone regardless. And that was such, we see all the crew coming through and they usually some variety of 2 or 3 skills or whatever, but actually him just having one skill and doing it really well is quite refreshing in a way.
Well, seeing
I would love to see more cards like it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was also a bit of a bias there because everyone got him 4 out of 5. Like, I feel like we were a bit more kind to him, perhaps. But I still stand by him being like tier 5. I think that he's probably going to stay there for the rest of his life, honestly. Like, for med, there is no better option, really.
In the Galaxy event where it was EV Suit, McCoy, and Chapel, he was standing right up there with Chapel and McCoy in crafting. I think before I had EV Suit McCoy done, I was using Bones McCoy to craft a lot of those nodes, just because his numbers are so good, and then get a 2x bonus on top of that. It makes him that much stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone points out, was it Gedgewood? I hope I didn't butcher your name. 3 tools for every occasion. And yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to have just one of everything. In the case of, I can totally understand why some people dupe some crew, because what some crew offer is so unique that if you want a multitude of what they offer, you kind of have to dupe them. Someone like Gary 7, for example, where it's a case of, if you want a better Side Voyager, your options are a load of crew that aren't in Portal, and then Dross like Away Team Saru or Anorax. It's like, well, you don't take them.
Yeah, or maybe an even more targeted example is someone like Reverend Phlox, where there really aren't. There's him, there's Dr. Pollard, and then there's Air. I mean, then there you get to primary tertiaries like Mycelial Culber or Worship EMA. But if you want to target that combo specifically, and you don't want to buy Captain Beverly, then you need to do things like dupe Reverend Phlox.
Yeah, and so it is sort of like an interesting thing where, like, I look at some crew and I think about the rankings, and it's like, there does come a point where even if your skill set is so rare, like, for example, like, Captain Beverly is a good example. Yeah, she's med command, but her numbers are so bad that I would almost recommend that someone just take a strong command crew and a strong med crew rather than try and make up numbers with her.
How are the kids big?
I think my natives are getting very restless, so I think I'm going to have to cut my bit of this a little short. So you guys carry on and enjoy the rest of your time.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for coming along.
Big, always good to see you. Hope we'll get you on a proper show.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah. See you guys later.
See you later, buddy. You and me, stars now. I'm just cracking through the skirmish. I'm not really doing a lot now, so I don't know. Like,
I mean, if you want to just shoot the shit for a little while, I'm good.
Let's do that. Let's. I mean, we're streaming. There's not much to do, so like, it's Friday night. Let's chill. Let's get through it.
It's Friday night, and we're sitting here playing a mobile game.
Well, we can't go out, or we shouldn't go out. So my skirmish skirmish lineup, people might say, it's the standard. You've got your crit monster here with Klingon Janeway, who usually people use Ardra, but I wanted to save the crew slot, so I'm using Klingon Janeway is good enough, and then Killy Garth, and then EP Spock. So nothing special here, and just cracking through it. But
yeah, I'm actually curious. Who have I got in my third slot? Oh, I'm using a modified thing of Killy, EV Spock, Bridal Keiko, and Garth of Izar.
I did see you using Bridal Keiko. What's she got?
She's got that 400% instant damage at 8 seconds, and it was just a case of I wanted to fill the dip slot because it was. I don't know. I was too lazy to do my proper order, so I just did it in whatever was. Like, oh, she goes there, that goes there, and so most of I've ever used her. Like, I got 1 out of 5 in her event, and I was like, when am I ever going to use this?
I'm looking forward to replacing Garth with Fury Kess, because I have Fury Kess, but I just need to level I'm looking forward to replacing Garth with her purely because the episode that Garth is in is absolutely garbage.
I remember you telling me it's pretty god awful. Yeah,
it's 40 minutes of nothing happening apart from him going mad and an Orion woman getting jealous. It's so terrible.
Yeah, like, is that a season 3 episode of TOS?
Possibly. Yes, I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because I remember season 3 of TOS is where it starts to get really ropey and really bad.
There were a lot more highs and a lot more lows compared to the early seasons. Like I would say, because I say, fresh off watching it, season 1 was definitely finding its feet, and there was things. Season 2 is my favourite series of the original.
Oh, yeah,
season 3 was like ups and downs, but it's not my favourite Star Trek series because it's very sexist and it's very dated.
Yeah.
Oh, like there were some great episodes. Like I've said before, I think last time we spoke about this, I said Obsession is my favourite episode, like out of those lot, because it's very good. And I kind of
the thing is this. With TOS is one of those things where I haven't watched it the entire way through. Like there are episodes I haven't seen, like Wolf in the Fold, for example, because I'm like, I have no real interest.
That was okay.
But every time,
Red Jack Jarvis, Red Jack Jarvis in the card, like he's actually pretty cool because you know how they beam down to a planet and like, diplomats are like, I'm not agreeing to this, you know, blah blah blah. They beam down, they talk to Jarvis, and he's just like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. He's actually quite chill for like a planet administrator, so I quite like that.
Well, he's got to play it. That's how you know he's suspicious.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But it's that thing of every time we talk about TOS crew, even though I haven't watched the series all the way through, I still find myself thinking of one scene that I have seen in isolation that I really like, and it had those moments of very strong character writing, and that can overcome all in the end, really.
And we were just talking about before I start the stream because I'm watching the animated series and it's really good. I'm actually really enjoying it. Like if you watch it straight after the original series, if you treat it season 4, once you get over the fact of the janky animation, and it's actually really good Star Trek episodes in there, and they highlight, they highlight a lot more of like the lesser characters, like Uhura. I say lesser characters, like the not Kirk, Spock, McCoy,
the ones who aren't stealing all the showtime.
Exactly. Like there was an episode I just watched, which was the Slaver Weapon, which was just Spock, Uhura, and Sulu. None of the other cast were in it. Shatner wasn't in it, which is unprecedented. And it was a good episode. It was a bit, it's animated and it is what it is, but it was. I'm really enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. Yeah, it's worth a watch for anyone if you like the original series and you've got through episode, you like the animated series, I think.
Yeah. No, I should give it a shot. It's just a case of I don't have as much of an attachment to the TOS crew as I do to almost any other crew.
I kind of just have to do it because I need to see it at least once. It's as any good self-respecting Star Trek fan should. At least watch everything once and never watch it again.
So that explains that.
No.
Yeah. All right. I've got a question for you. I feel like this one might ride us out a little bit. What is your favorite Star Trek episode title?
Ooh.
Because someone in the chat, I think it was Paul Need, mentions that Garth episode is called "Whom's God Destroyed."
That is a good.
And it got me
that is a good title.
All of a lot of Discovery's first season ones, like the Butcher Cares Not for the Lamb's Pride. Context is for Kings.
Context is for Kings is very good. I love that quote.
Like all of those ones are really good, and then DS9 has some really good ones. Like the Dyer's Cast, and was it like Shadows and Symbols? Like there's some really good episode titles, and I'm wondering what your favorite is.
God, I never thought of that. I think for the simplicity of it, my favorite has to be. Because it tells you exactly what it is in the title. You know what you're going to expect. And it just has to be Year of Hell. The 2-parter. Because you know what you're going to get from that episode. And they deliver on it. It's not just sort of like, Inter Arma, Silent Legis, Aegis, whatever it is. Where you're just like, what the fuck? I don't understand Latin. What's this about? It's like, this episode is called The Year of Hell. And you literally, in 2 parts, you get a Year of Hell. And it's brilliant. I think I quite. It's not as classy as sophisticated as some of the other ones, but it is apt for the episode. And I think it's if you mirror
as long as it's a statement of intent.
Yeah, exactly. It mirrors what actually happens, and I think it's I'm quite for episode titles. I quite like that one. which is uncommon for Voyager, like because Voyager sort of go all over the place a little bit, but I think that was.
They have some very, very like very, very straightforward ones where it's like parallax or
a night. Night was literally them in the night.
Yeah, or the void or the fight, or a lot of these
I mean, yeah, maybe now you say it like that, it's a little bit like, what should we call it? Well, they had a year of hell. Okay, it's called the Year of Hell. Maybe it doesn't sound quite so good that way.
Well, it reminds me of like something I remember hearing about, like about Doctor Who, which you probably will be more associated with, which is that if you go back and especially look at the classic series, how many of the episodes I call something of the something.
Yeah.
I've Revenge of the Cyberman or like A Power of the Daleks. It's like you look at how many are called that and you're like, wow, you were
did have my time watching Doctor Who from the very start, and I got up to just about a little bit into Tom Baker before I finally went, I can't do it anymore. There is so much.
There's so much of it, and a lot of it is really bad.
Some of it is quite good. Like I quite like some of the early William Hartnell stuff. For the era. I think
Pertwee
for the era
was my
it
favorite of
aged.
the earlier stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Pertwee I love.
Definitely. I think, why isn't there a Doctor Who timelines? That would work really well. I don't know what your ship battles would be.
Star Trek. I used to collect a Doctor Who trading card game, and I spent God knows how much money on that. I suppose that explains why I'm addicted to this.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just hit a million VP. Look at that.
There you go. Very good. I haven't even done 130k yet. That's how little I've been playing this event. I'll probably just throw on some TNG and like bang through it. It's just a case of like I messed up my hand yesterday, so. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. What is Adam Purley asks? What's your favourite series outside of Trek?
Outside of Trek. I'm guessing he means like a TV series, because that's a tricky one.
Sci-fi series. Yeah, has to be.
Oh, sci-fi series.
Yeah,
okay,
sci-fi series. Sorry, yeah. I've got my answer, but I'll let you go first.
No, you go first, because I'm still thinking about it.
I had a very good time with Battlestar Galactica, the reboot series. I think that's definitely number 2. Well, no, I'll tell a lie. I've actually got one better than the Battlestar Galactica. My number 2 series after Star Trek is The Expanse. I think it is so good. If you've never watched,
I've watched the first season and it is very good.
Watch more than the first season, because season 2, 3, and 4 are amazing. They're very, very, very good. And I've got the books. I've got all 8 of them. I'm really hyped for the 9th coming out because it goes some places. It is. Read the Expanse books. They are very good if you haven't already.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's worth carrying on. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose for me, it kind of depends. Because like Trek is like the first love. Like I cut my teeth on that. But Doctor Who, I kind of got into at the same time, and it was specifically the 2005 revival.
Mm-hmm.
The first 4 seasons of that are. I can go back and watch almost any of those episodes. I'm like, oh man, it's so comfortable. It has that Trek feeling of like a warm blanket. And some of those episodes, like especially in season 4, there's some really good ones with Catherine Tate in there.
Yeah, I love Catherine Tate's episode. She's the best companion.
She's such good quality.
Yeah.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I can't, if I don't say Doctor Who, I'm not sure if it counts, but have you ever seen Life on Mars?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes.
I don't know if it quite counts because it's not quite sci-fi, but it's on the cusp.
It's British sci-fi, so it is very much rooted in like if you're not part of our culture, then like it is so good.
Yeah. No, I do adore Life on Mars. And
Gene Hunt is my role model.
Oh yeah. For those of you out there, especially our American viewers, we are not talking about the US version with, I believe, Harvey Keitel in it. We are talking about the UK version with John Sim and Philip Glenister, which is set in 1973 Manchester. Absolutely amazing series. It's only 16 episodes. They're about an hour long each. Go and watch it. It's a really amazing crime drama. It's got elements of sci-fi in it. Really incredible series. Really good fun.
So good.
And there's a sequel series, Ashes to Ashes, which isn't quite as good, but still a good watch.
Ashes to Ashes I think the first season was a bit rough, but season 2 and 3 definitely got a lot better. When they wrapped it up
Season
as
2,
well.
I think, was my favourite of it. Season 3 was a little bit rough, but I really did like the way they ended it.
Yeah, it was quite emotional, really, and it's quite it was.
No, definitely. Keely Hawes? I think she grew into that role quite nicely.
Definitely. And she was very good in Line of Duty as well. If you've ever seen any of that, I mean, my wife likes quite a lot of like crime dramas and things like that. So she sees her in quite a lot of those. Have you? And I can probably hook you up here as well. Have you listened to any of the Big Finish Doctor Who stuff, the audio dramas?
I have, as it happens.
Have you heard that Christopher Eccleston is coming back for them?
He's coming back. Yes, I heard that. So for some context for people, like Christopher Eccleston was the Doctor for the 2005 revival, and then he only did one season and he left. And it was always a bit of confusion as to why. And it turns out it was because basically the BBC treated him like garbage, and he got kind of thrown out. So recently he announced he was going to come back to the audio dramas, and it was kind of a big deal because it was nice to have him back, and he had such a little amount of time, but he was so beloved. So him coming back to do additional stories is a big thing.
It's huge,
yeah.
They're
My
really good.
to the Big Finish stories was I got into watching the Colin Baker ones. Because Colin Baker has probably the worst tenure on Doctor Who in terms of the live action stuff. It's so awful.
It's pretty bad.
And I was like, I want to give this guy his due because he seems like a very talented actor. He just doesn't have the writing to support it. And I think the first serial he does, it's almost a straight historical drama, and his companion is like a 60-year-old history teacher.
Oh, yes.
Evelyn
I've listened
Smythe.
to some of those. Evelyn Smythe, yeah, they're really good.
She makes a wonderful foil because she has the same bombacity and the same strength of character that he does, and she doesn't stand for any of his shit. And I really, really appreciate that. Like,
definitely good.
For those of you who are into Doctor Who, Big Finish, absolutely worth it.
Absolutely. Have you listened to any of the 8th Doctor stuff? Because I've been sort of on a bend.
No, that seems labyrinthine. It seems like he gets so deep in there.
There is a lot of it, but I'm really glad that they expanded his character because obviously he comes back for the 50th special in that little sort of short episode, and I'm so glad they did because his audio dramas are fantastic. That is sort of the 8th Doctor's adventures. Really, they are really good with Charlie Pollard.
For those of you who really want a good thing to listen to on the tube or you're doing big car rides, you could do so much worse than the Big Finish thing because they have wonderful production quality, excellent writing. Like they're just very, very good. Even if you're not into Doctor Who, I think they'd be a good way to get into it.
Colin Baker was on Star Trek Continues. Was he really? Paul Need. I did not know that.
Really?
I need to watch them.
What did he play?
I don't know.
I've never watched it, mostly because of the controversy surrounding the lead actor now.
Oh, what? The guy who played Kirk? What was the controversy?
Vic Mignola, I believe his name is. There's been some stuff about him.
Oh, really? I thought because... Because wasn't he in Star Trek 09 very brief, like cameo background actor or something?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know nearly as much about the Abrams films as I do with the rest of Trek.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? I have to say, this is getting really deep in there. But have you heard about that? They did a kind of a crossover comic with Star Trek 09 and normal Star Trek.
No.
Where Q wants to bother Picard. And he's like, pay attention to me, Jean-Luc. And he's like, no, I'm busy. I'm mourning data. I'm not interested. And he's like, fine, I'll go play with Kirk then. But he goes and bothers Chris Pine, Kirk. And he takes the Enterprise out of normal time and throws them 100 years in the future. And you get a crossover with the DS9 crew.
What?
Yeah,
really?
seriously weird. And you have Chris Pine, Kirk, and Zachary Quinto Spock dealing with a changeling invasion and stuff like that. It's kind of nuts.
Okay. I mean, there was...
I don't know how good it is. But...
I mean, there has been sort of weird crossovers in the comics before because there was the Doctor Who Borg crossover, wasn't there? The Matt Smith Doctor Who.
There's also been 2 X-Men Star Trek crossovers.
Oh, there's a book as well, Planet X, isn't there?
Yeah.
Very infamous Star Trek.
Pretty hilarious. I think it's Gary Mitchell comes back in that one. It's pretty great.
Why isn't there a Gary Mitchell card? I'm assuming it's going to be an actor.
They must be holding him back. Yeah. They must be holding him back.
Or it's a rights. It's got to be a rights thing. I'm sure they would have done it by now.
I know it was with Charlie Evans. I shouldn't say Charles Evans because no one will know who I'm talking about. Charlie X, as it were. But Gary Mitchell feels like if they got Dana, then surely it can't be that tricky.
Yeah, true.
Mitchell. And he's arguably more iconic.
For his one episode, break Silver Eyes and goes mad.
That would be an amazing gauntlet card. I'd love that.
Oh yeah, he could be the. What would you say is the missing combo in Gauntlet? What is underrepresented? I'm not as knowledgeable on Gauntlet as probably most are, but what needs a bit of a boost?
Engineering.
Yeah,
engineering is the number one.
Could
like Caretaker, Red Angel, Power Gap is what it looks like.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you could justify engineering for him because he doesn't do a lot of engineering. He builds Kirk gravestone. You could justify it with that.
That's a tertiary.
Yeah, there you go. Give him a tertiary, like a tiny skill, but make it like a massive roll.
Okay, here we go. So you would have a strong base, a strong secondary a strong base for the primary and secondary. Make his tertiary tiny, but the proficiency's huge. And there you have
massive.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I'd be okay with that actually. Yeah.
Good.
I think that'd be fun, and it would be one of those things where it's like that's clearly for gameplay, but that sector of Gauntlet is so underpaid attention that I feel like it'd be fine. I'd be actually okay with it.
What do you think to? We'll talk about more of this on Wednesday, but we've just had today has been announced that my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Khalees is coming to the game, so I'm really looking forward to having that afro on my screen. No, Khalees from the Voyager episode, The Muse.
Just damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge.
That is absolutely all I am going to be singing on Wednesday. But so he was announced today for the flashback, and I've seen a lot of people sort of been like. The usual sort of moaning about like who and sort of like, well, there's been two kind of points, and I'll bring this up as well. Two kind of points made, and one is like, oh, hang on, why is this sort of one-off character a legendary? And the other point is, I'm glad there are these one-off characters coming in the game, because otherwise, it's a good little. I know Skycap has said this. It would be a good little exploration of Trek over time. So it's a good sort of see these minor characters. So there's sort of both sides of it.
Yeah,
we'll go more into it on Wednesday, but yeah.
I will say, I don't want to spoil this discussion for Wednesday because, I do want to talk about that episode of Trek. I think is amazing. I love that episode. I think it's called.
I don't recall it, but yeah.
It's either called The Muse or Muse because it's like there's a DS9 episode that's also terrible that is the same name. And because it's one of those episodes of television that I love, where it's basically about writing television. And seeing B'Elanna, one of the least erudite members of the crew, having to explain, guess what? That's the truth, but this is also what works in terms of the storytelling context. Having to deal with this guy like this who really wants to tell a story. I love that kind of stuff. As someone who really likes writing stories and loves role play and stuff like that, I do really adore that kind of fiction.
Mm.
And I can definitely see the complaints of this guy was in the episode for maybe 20 minutes. Why does he have a gold when, say, Ezri took 4 years to get a gold variant, for example? And I definitely see the annoyance there because there are certainly quite a few crew like Trip Tucker, for example, who has tons of shitty variants that you could upgrade and no one would bat an eye. But it's a combination of you have to save the gold. You can't always just throw out iconic crew after iconic crew after iconic crew, because then you run out, and then it's I would rather you sprinkle in the iconic crew amongst the one-offs than throw it all out in one go, because then it's a case of excitement peaks, and then it drops off.
Yeah.
In terms of a card, I think he's quite boring, honestly. I got Amanda from the very first week of the Mega, and I think she does much of what he does.
It is hard. It's hard to have a balance because, like you say, oh yeah, it's great to have these sort of one-off cards, but in kind of you got to balance sort of the use for gameplay use, and you're gonna like you say, you're gonna like you have with Amanda, you're gonna have another 1 of 5 crew sitting there till a time like this when you've in about 2 years' time you've got 100 packs from whatever, and you kind of go, oh, I hope I get some stars. So
Yeah.
and that's
Well, that's
only
also the joy of an honor sale is you get to throw some silly citations on people and be like, hey, that makes you feel good.
Oh, she's quite a good. She's quite a good honor suicide, isn't she? I still haven't picked mine yet. I need to think.
Oh, Amanda. Oh, she's too good. She's
Is
like
she?
a top 10 base and like
Oh,
an
is
80
she?
wager,
Oh, okay.
so
Oh, no.
she's too good. I have my shortlist prepared. I'm hoping to blag some Steam sale packs off you so I can do mine.
Oh yes, I'll hook you up. We'll talk.
And I'm hoping I might get some good candidates there. But at the moment, I've got 3, and they're ones that I like and that would be interesting to play around with on my roster.
Mm.
But yeah, I can definitely see why people are annoyed about having one constantly, because it's been a while since we had like EV Super Spock, I suppose.
Mm.
But
I was thinking about that.
everyone wants some big crew, and everyone wants like Die Hard Picard from either Starship Mine or like from the end of Fire's Contact when he's like grappling on the tube and engineering.
The guns Picard.
Or they want EV Suit Worf like me.
Yeah.
Everyone has that one that they want, but the thing is, you have to just wait, and they will come. Don't worry, this game is not going anywhere. The fact that Idle has dropped money on 100 Steam sale packs, guess what? People like him are keeping this game going for you. You will get the card you want eventually. It's just a case of being patient.
Believe it or not, this isn't like this is. Oh, well, no, I won't go into it. But like, when you talk about the people that spend the money on it, like this is for some of the people I've spoken to, this is nothing. Like there are the people in who you wonder why there are people who win the same faction event every week. Every month. They're the people that drop the real money. Like I think there are people that we know that I won't name, but they'll have spent $1 to $2 grand on an event to win it. That is crazy to me as someone that budgets, but
guess what? Like I'm not going to judge them. Like they keep the game going for people like me, and
people have different scales of how they spend their money, and
absolutely. In this case, if it brings them joy, I'm not going to say anything against it.
As long as the game never shuts down.
Well, there's certainly more than enough Trek to go around. Like Jesus, like we've got Discovery Season 3. Lower Decks is going to have a second season. Picard is going to have a second season. Yeah. We're looking at Strange New Worlds. We're going to get Section 31. Like, guess what? There's going to be more than enough cards. Like, before long, they'll be falling over themselves to offer you cards that you want. Stars,
you've watched. Yes. Okay, let's go into this now. I said this before. Okay. I said we'd talk about Disco a little bit. Okay. My obligatory spoiler warning to anyone in the stream listening. I'm going to say it again, spoiler warning for the first 1 to 3 episodes of Star Trek. Spoiler alert. If you've not watched it, it's the only time we'll ever say if we've watched it, stop watching. Come back on the replay.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? When we're done talking about spoilers, I will go like this, and then you'll know you can unmute or you can come back.
What did you think? Well, let's talk about the first 3 episodes. We might as well, because we haven't actually spoken at all, and we probably won't talk about the main show until the series as well.
And also, like, Auto doesn't enjoy the show that much as we do. And
we are too. Bye, Paul Need. Yeah, sorry for anyone.
Yes, absolutely.
We want to talk about spoilers, and I think we'll probably wrap it up after this anyway. So, What do you think of the first 3 episodes? And we'll talk about the latest one as well. But how are you finding the third season of Discovery?
The first episode was definitely the weakest, and I think it also had like a bit of an unfair expectation on it because it had to set an entirely new mood for the season, because it is a very different season to what's come before. And I can definitely see the criticism some people had of it was like too much to come out of like a Star Wars, because it's a lot of shooting, a lot of like crash bang wall up and stuff, whatever. But I feel like it did a very good job of establishing the mood and saying this is what this universe is now.
Definitely.
And in terms of what it sets up for Burnham, I like, because she's a bit different now, especially now I've just seen episode 3. She's definitely still Burnham, but she's a lot more sort of like looser, a lot more free, a lot more fun.
I think, like,
And
I am the biggest, well, not the biggest. I'm not going to make strange claims like that, but I am a big. I like Burnham. I've never had. I can see why people do, and I can see why people have an issue with. Because essentially, and I won't disagree with this. Instead of this show being called Star Trek Discovery, it should be Star Trek Burnham. I'm not going to disagree with that because it is the Burnham show. It absolutely is. I like Burnham. I'm happy with that. But I think, if they'd have said this is called Star Trek Burnham, a lot of people might come more exception. But I am a fan of where her character is going. I think she's breaking out of that sort of Vulcan mold.
Well, it's a shell that was kind of imposed upon her. And I think so. Like Georgiou is kind of like taken on this role of someone who says and does things that you find unacceptable. But I think that the conversation she had with Burnham about you're finally learning to be who you are, stepping outside the rules and being able to live how you like, it's a bit scary for you, but you also like it. And I think to a degree that was true. And I was like, yes, it is a bit odd that Burnham is like, oh, I am kind of detached from Discovery. It's only been a year. You've been with these people for 2 years, but she's changed a lot and she's had a lot happen to her in the year that she's been gone. And I do think that when you think about the context of why she was in Starfleet to begin with, in that it was basically kind of imposed upon her by Sarek, being able to step outside that and then just learn and act and live on her own terms with book, I can definitely see why that would be attractive to her. I do kind of hope that she kind of reconciles, as it were, with the Discovery crew and regrows back toward them.
I think that's coming, and I absolutely loved. I love her relationship with Saru, and I love how we've seen that grow. It started off in the Vulcan Hello with them sort of being partly buddies, compatriots.
They were bitchy toward each other. They were totally,
exactly.
Scooting each other, get out my station, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously what happened with her and the mutiny, and they're coming back aboard the Discovery, and he's the first officer, and he kind of gets to be a bit like, haha, holier than thou. I'm now the first officer.
Yeah.
But then he grows alongside her with things like that, and now to the point where they have that conversation, and again, episode 3 spoilers.
Oh, but I absolutely adored that moment when what was it? Stamets was saying, "Should I go?" And then he was looking toward the two of them, and she was like, "No, it's you."
Yeah, absolutely. And she was saying what the episode. She was saying what the audience has been thinking for the last 2 years. Essentially, it was like, you are the captain, no doubt.
Acquitted himself so well in episode 2. He was on par with a Picard in those moments where he was just like, because a lot of people have criticized Discovery for talking the talk but not walking the walk, where it's a case of they will talk a lot about the Federation ideals but not act upon them. Episode 2 and 3 of Discovery showed that this show is more than capable of walking the walk when it wants to.
Yeah.
And it wants to now. It wants to talk about Federation ideals and what it means to be a Starfleet crew. And Saru exemplifies that. I loved that conversation with him where it's a case of, it's about me and about our growth together, and I wanted you to be my number one. But I also really adored the conversation he had with Tilly when they were walking from Discovery to the mining colony.
Oh,
about how,
yes.
She was a good first impression, and I had to learn to grow past fear. I want you to grow past fear as well. And that was a really inspiring and low-key and warm moment for me. That was something that Picard could have done.
Yeah.
But Saru has this kind of warmth to him.
Doug Jones is great.
I don't think
he's really good.
Oh yeah, no, he's such good quality in everything he does, but especially here, he gets to really grow. And I think that's what's really unique about him and what's going to be unique about him as a captain, is that he feels things very deeply, and he's not afraid of showing it and saying it, but not to fuck with him regardless. It's kind of that Pike Picard strength of character.
I think
I feel like you see him grow. Oh.
Go on. Sorry, there's two. Sorry to interrupt you. There's 2 moments with Saru that sort of stand out to me, and they're sort of like sort of an alpha and omega, really. And the start of it was back in season 1. He was it season 1 or was it early season 2? I can't remember. And he's sitting there and goes, computer, list me the best captains in Starfleet, and they list, and they list, Robert April, Captain Pike, and he's sort of like, right, I'm going to determine to be like these people. He's setting his role models because of his upbringing, being sort of like the outcast from his society. And he goes, right, these are the people I'm going to model myself after. And then going right to the end of episode 3, when, and again, spoilers, they've all beamed down to Earth, and, Tilly and everyone were like, oh, we just want to spend a bit more
we
time,
have
and
5 more
he's
minutes?
that compassionate. It's like, we have a job to do, but take 5 minutes.
But you can have
and
the
it's
5
just
minutes.
like, I was like, oh, you're like, he's not just kind of gone, what makes a good captain? He's like, what makes a good captain, and what makes me a good captain? And that's
What makes me a good person as well? Because they do go hand in hand.
I absolutely adore Saru. Like, he's fantastic.
Honestly, I feel like there's no weak link this season. Like, I feel like season 2, I love it. I really adore bringing in Pike. I love the new Spock. I love the like Reno, all the new additions. I like where the story went, even if it was a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like this one, more than anything, they've really found their footing. And episode 2 was such a high watermark. Like, I found myself just like smiling or really enjoying or feeling something every scene. And especially because it's a bit of a shame that Tig Notaro hasn't signed on to become a regular, because apparently she's just too busy to do it.
Well,
because her moments with
I can expand on that, because I was listening to the Star Trek Pod Directive, which is the Star Trek podcast, if you listen to it, and they had an interview with Tig Notaro, and she goes, you know what? She goes, it's not that she's too busy. She goes, I don't want to be a regular because of the amount of work they do, because they're there however many months at a time. She's like, I'm very happy. She goes, she loves it. She absolutely loves the job. She loves coming on and being, but she's just like, I want to come on for an episode, shoot for a couple of hours, and then go and do my stand-up and all my other stuff and things like that. She's like, I've got things to do, but I don't want to subscribe to that lifestyle, but she absolutely loves being there. So I think that's kind of a best of both worlds, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. Because her moments with Stamets, like, not to get too like identity politics about this, as it were, but the fact that we have two homosexual members of like the cast, like Reno and Stamets are both gay, and they both just get to interact with each other and have this vitriolic relationship, and they get to encourage and fight and make each other grow.
Yeah, but I mean,
I adore that. Like, for me, growing up watching 90s Trek, where it was all very straight, it was all very heterosexual. Yeah. For me personally, as a gay man, that means a lot to see actual gay characters interacting and just being like defined by their duty as Starfleet officers. That means so much to me. Like,
and the fact that, like, because I think you see in a lot of TV shows when they say, right, okay, we're gonna have some sort of, some sort of pride element, some sort of homosexual element, like they'll make a big point of that and make that the point of the episode, whereas it's like, oh yeah, Culber is Stamets' husband and Jet Reno has a wife. Doesn't matter, but they're still bitching. They're acting like normal people, and that's like it goes back to the old phrase with like when people sort of were really praiseful of Joss Whedon when he used to write female characters for Buffy, and because and also for was it George R. R. Martin or someone else is like, well, how are you good at writing female characters? And he goes, well, I don't write people. I'm writing people. Yeah. They just happen to be female. Yeah. Like, that's like the difference is like you just do what you would normally do with these characters, and the gender politics is just a facet of their character as opposed to the defining metric, which I think is all the difference.
And I think about like TNG's one attempt at tackling this with the Outcast, and I think, man, that's a really bad episode. Like, they really undercut themselves. And I think even Jonathan Frakes has gone on record saying, no, it should have been a male actor playing this thing so that the point was more pronounced. But I think about that, and I think about where we are now, where you have three openly gay characters on the thing, and you have a non-binary actor as well. And I think about that gives me hope. And
Absolutely.
That makes me feel happy about liking Star Trek.
And I think
we've talked about embarrassing moments in Star Trek history, and when you try and share this with someone, it's like you have to go, no, believe me, it gets better. It's not like this. It's actually a genuinely hopeful vision for the future. It's optimistic, and it's really quite progressive, actually. But then you kind of get something that talks the talk and walks the walk and does it.
Can we talk about oh Christ, I've forgotten her name now. Adira,
I like her. She's a bit of a massive nerd, and I like that she brings out this kind of dad feeling in Stamets. Like, that conversation they have where he's like, I know what you did. Like, that is such a dad moment. Yeah, and I really liked that.
It's weird that he's taken a shine to someone as well, because that's not like Stamets. Well, not like Stamets usually, but it's nice that he's sort of, because he's already got this sort of adversarial relationship with Jet Reno, and obviously he's got his partner relationship with Culber, which they kind of mostly explored last season. But it's nice that he's now, like you say, he's taken the fatherly role. But It is, I think, the biggest part for me with Lieutenant Adira, and I forget the actress's name. Sorry, again,
Luna Del Barrio.
Yeah, and again, I will apologise for my pronouns. I think they sort of identify as them, they, and
non-binary. So they.
Exactly. It's as someone in my position, it's hard to get my head around it, but I'm trying.
No, absolutely. You're trying.
They were so good, and it's their first time as in a major production, and I absolutely love that moment at the end of the episode. And again, massive spoilers if you've not seen the episode, and they turn around and they go, "Oh, I am Admiral Tarn," and I literally did the classic, "What?" I was like, "Oh shit, this is where this is going." I was like, "Oh, this is suddenly your character suddenly got a whole lot more interesting."
So he was a Trill, but you don't have spots.
Yeah.
How is that?
Because they're human. So
and then I thought about it, I was like, well, it's 900 years in the future. Of bloody course they could probably do that.
Yeah, this is a long way off Riker Odan.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is topical. It's sort of weirdly sort of synced in a little bit.
Look at us.
How it's almost as if they
yeah, almost as if. Yeah, no, I'm definitely very excited for it. And you talk about like Stamets doing that dad thing, and it's very similar to how his relationship with Tilly in season 1, actually.
Yes.
Because he was very much more vitriolic in that early season because he felt like his work was being perverted by Lorca, and he didn't have any joy in life. And then the tardigrade DNA gave him a bit more of a perspective. It enhanced his life. And his relationship with Tilly and growing to like her was like a really nice part of season 1. And then they expanded on it in season 2, and it feels like they're kind of letting Tilly grow up and be her own person a bit more in season 3.
Yeah. Well, she
while
shifted.
Still giving him that.
Yeah, she shifted more over to Saru. Saru's, because since she shifted the command program, he's more her mentor than sort of Stamets is now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I feel like it's nice for her. It's nice she has 2 dads. But I also like that Stamets has like more relationships and more. I feel like that's something they've also done a lot better at in these 2 seasons, is giving people more relationships and more avenues to work with. Because in season 1, it was very much a case of who is Burnham interacting with? She is interacting with Tilly and Stamets and maybe a bit of Culber. And and then they started diversifying, in which case you can now talk about everyone's relationship with everyone. And a lot of the strength of Star Trek relationships and of their ensemble casts is when you go, you talk about, let's say, Cisco on DS9, and you talk about how very different his relationship is with Kira versus someone like O'Brien versus someone like Dax. And that's what gives the episodes this like fullness and this depth. And when you talk about the series, you don't just talk about episodes, you talk about entire arcs and talk about entire relationships. And Discovery is really starting to cotton on to what it has in strength. And it's really, really helping it as a show.
I think as well, they're doing a lot more with the background. Well, I don't want to say background, but with the bridge crew. Owasaka and Detmer, Reese, Nilsson, and the other one whose name I forget. Bryce. That's the. Did I say that? Oh, yeah. Anyway, but it's nice they're getting a little bit more exposure, especially with like Nilsson was used to be the actress for Arium, and obviously she couldn't get makeup, so blah blah blah. They and all that in season 2. But it is nice that they're sort of getting a lot more. And I think if you look in sort of primary and secondary, you've got primary, which is Detmer and Owasakan, and the other guys sort of behind them. And Detmer's definitely getting a focus this season, which gives me a little bit of dread. I'm getting a little bit of dread because I quite like Detmer, but I'm like, oh, they're going to kill her off, aren't they? This is leading to that, but
I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't quite gel with this version of the future that they're trying to create, where it's a bit more hopeful and a bit more optimistic. I hope they don't go down that route. I hope they just go the route of let's heal. Because one of my favorite parts of season 2 was bringing Culber back in the traditional Star Trek fashion, and then going,
it was mushrooms.
This messed him up. He's a mushroom boy, and he doesn't know what the fuck he is. And I think my favorite episode of season 1 of Discovery is Magic to Make the Sanest Men Go Mad, because I think that's great.
Oh, that was a good one.
I love that time loop. It's so classic Trek, but it's also very Discovery. And my favorite episode of season 2 is If Memory Serves, which is great because it's the Cage connection with like going to Talos 4 with Vina, elaborating on the relationship between Vina and Pike, Burnham and Spock's relationship. But it has this amazing, I don't know if to call it B or C plot, of that fight that Colbert and Tyler have in the mess hall, and that is so heavily emotionally charged that even though the fight only lasts for 30 seconds, it feels arduous and heavy.
I love out of that. I love that just like when Pike's grilling Saru about it, and Saru's just like, "You've got a man that's just."
The manual offers no code of conduct for interactions between a man with a human's bones grafted onto his skeleton and a ship's doctor returned from the dead.
Yeah,
like bones really sells that line. It's fucking hilarious.
That was brilliant. I absolutely love it. And I just see Pike just kind of goes, "I can't argue with that." This is like, what can you do?
Yeah, no. Well, I'm gonna miss Pike. I have to admit, as much as I love Saru, I miss Pike already. I loved how centering and how.
Oh, he was so good.
Oh, he's such a Boy Scout, but I love him.
He was that one scene where, like, you know, I think it's Admiral Cornwall's on the bridge and he's given the speech. What what kind of stuff
about mines?
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, that's you," and he's just like, he has that moment humbleness and goes, "Oh yeah, okay."
Oh, you think that highly of me? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was.
It's a point taken.
Yeah, I think I love it. But okay, round back around to season 3. I am the biggest lore buff for Star Trek. I have like documents like tracking all the history of Trek, and I kind of, one of my things I want to do in the future is actually do like a history of Star Trek and like going all the way back to Eugenics Wars and World War III and things like that. And I absolutely just want to know everything about this 1,000-year gap or this 950-year gap.
Oh, dude! When they went back to Earth, I was like, "What are we going to do?" And it's like, "Oh, United Earth." That's nice callback, sort of like Enterprise. And now I'm like, okay. What about the Romulans? What about the Vulcans?
What's happened to Klingon?
I want to know all of this. I want to know.
Do. Because, like, you know this, and I think they're not. They
love it if they say that Bajor is like a new Federation. Like it got so it recovered to the point where it's a new like power that's like the Federation, and they have like Cisco as their inspiration. Dude, that'd be so cool.
I could see it definitely, but I love this hunt for the Federation. I like the twist in play between Earth is now seceded, even though Earth, with all the did with like establishing the first sort of coalition of planets and all this, now because of the burn and everything and all the dilithium's gone, everyone's sort of a little bit more stranded than they were. Earth is seceded. Right, we're looking after our own, and I am very much intrigued because obviously we're going to see Vulcan because we've seen that in the trailers, and I just want to know more. I want to know about these Federation starships. I want to see the evolution design. I want to know why the temporal weapons were banned. I think we won't hear a lot of that, but I think we're just going to have this.
I feel like that was a way of them addressing, no, you're not going to see Daniels. We're not dealing with that. And I also feel like it was a bit of a, no, we're not going to run this back. This is the 32nd century.
And I think they were clever by running it that far. 950 years wasn't an obligatory. What number could we pin out of the air? They had to kind of go. They could have easily gone 200 years, but then they would still have to address existing timeline stuff. They went further beyond anything that there have been. I absolutely love it. But I'm just a lore nerd, and I'm also a little bit of a starship porn nerd. I need to know what the Federation starships look like now. Do they still have the disc?
Do you want to see an Enterprise X or whatever it's going to be?
You've got to have that, and it's Will Riker on the starship in the finale, isn't it? It's just it's got
Will Riker the 52nd or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your opinion on? Because I know this depends on the person. If Dax turns up in the next episode, because they're going to Trill, as I recall, would that make you happy, or would you be a bit like, that makes the universe small? Because I feel like that's a common criticism I see of constantly connecting the same names.
It's half and half. I think if they have, because they've already introduced a Trill, and it's Tal. I think that's. I think that's going to.
Well, Adira is human. Yeah, but
I think Tal is the symbiont name.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tal would be. Yeah.
I think Tal's the symbiont.
Yeah.
So it's nice we've got another symbiont out there, which is great. Yeah. Other than I think Lenara Khan, I think is the only other symbiont, and Riker and Odan is the
I think that's the other one,
so it's nice we see other ones, but I could see them going back to Trill and then be like, okay, we've got this high priest or someone that's leader, and it's Dax, and. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to focus on Tal. And they're going to... Because like they said in the finale, she's having... I think they're addressing her as she in the show. She's having trouble addressing her memories. And I think they're going to go back to Trill to do that. And then there'll be a bit more exposition. But, excuse me. There was... looking back to Battlestar Galactica. For the final season of that, there was an episode which was pretty much 50 minutes of exposition about everything that happened with the Cylons and everything like that, and like it basically recapped like 4 seasons of stuff that we'd missed. And a lot of people said, "Oh, this is the exposition episode. There's no drama." And I was just like, "No, I love this episode because it's just giving me. It's just people talking in a room, and it's brilliant. I love it, and I want." That episode, I want that kind of.
Well, Star Trek's very good at making people talking in a room compelling.
Yes, exactly. And Shia Porn says, "I need me a symbiote koi pond." Yeah, I think we're probably going to get that. I think we're going to have the.
Oh, I feel like we saw them in the trailer. Didn't we?
I think
feel
so.
Like we saw
yeah.
those white. Yeah.
I think that's absolutely.
I love that. Like DS9, I love for expanding the universe in the way of the Trill and stuff like that. I'm so excited for this season because it means you don't know what's going to come. Like with Picard, we had a general idea of what was going to be in play because it's after the Dominion War. Not much has changed really there, but with this, it's just like there's so much that's different. We have no idea what it's like, and seeing everything change is such a nice way of challenging. Oh, you got a pool.
I got a pool.
I'm sure it'll be some schematics for you. Like seeing how everything's changed is like so. And it means that it's fresh for new people as well as for old people. Like, for old fans like us, we get to see everything new. And for people who are new to this, they don't start as a disadvantage. Like, I love that. It's good for them. Speaking of Dax.
Yes. Speaking of Dax, there she is. I think I'm going to hit the hay now. I think this is my episode. But Stars, thank you for coming and joining me with this. I feel like we could talk about. I think we could talk about disco till the cows come home. Until early hours in the morning. I really could because I think there's a lot of skepticism, and I love that I'm actually talking to someone that loves it as much as I do. So
it is a bit rare, isn't it?
And it is Trek. It is Trek, and it is now. And I think we've had the '90s Trek. I think that's been that's happened, and that's not gone anywhere.
It's still there, and I think. Lower Decks especially feels like it wants to carry that baton and be more.
Oh yeah, Lower Decks is absolutely fantastic, and it's not just carrying the baton; it's doing it in a very modern way. And
and this is something new, and like Trek needed to do something new in order to survive, and I feel like Discovery's done that in a very good way.
Yeah, and I think I'm so looking forward to what's coming. I really am. I just want the lore. I want to know what's happened. What happened with? Did Riker turn out to be the CNC? Did what happened with the Temporal War in the end? Was the Battle of Procyon 4? Did the Enterprise J actually exist? Did that actually happen?
I hope not, because it looks awful. It's the worst looking Enterprise.
And on that note, I think I'm going to go to bed.
Get to bed, man.
Guys, thank you everyone.
Are we still doing Adventures tomorrow, by the way?
Are we doing it tomorrow? Was that tomorrow? Did we say that?
I don't know.
We'll talk. I think it was next week. But anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you everyone in stream for coming and joining us. Great to listen to the background, but also grinding away at the skirmish. You know what? Actually, this is a good point. We should do this more at skirmish. We should have a Star Trek chat skirmish so people have got something to listen to.
Yeah.
We'll think about that next time.
There's some mileage to the idea of doing a riff tracks while we're all skirmishing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, we will do this. Next time there's a skirmish, we'll do a riff track with us talking over the motion picture with you got everyone skirmishing at the same time. That's a great idea. I like that.
Oh man!
All right, guys.
All right, you'll have to convince me of the magnificence of that motion picture.
Oh, I will.
And then I'll do the same to you when we're doing Wrath of Khan because I can talk about that movie for years.
We'll go through them. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming. We'll see you.